All right, drop a 1 in the chat if you can see me and hear me. Just waiting to see some responses. All right, so it appears you guys can see me and hear me. I don't know what it was. I took everything apart and put it all back together, and now it works. Whatever. Do I sound tinny? Hair Juicer, do I sound tinny like I did yesterday or the day before? Sometimes I think, never mind. Anyways, we'll just get on to this next video before things get worse. This next video is a Peter Doocy video. It's titled "These Headlines Are Just Brutal," talking about how everyone is saying that Joe must go. Get this pulled up really quick.
All right, we go now to our senior White House correspondent.
Fucking stop. Jesus loves us. I'm having a fucking day today. Damn, I was having a good fucking time until I fucking went live. Jesus Christ loves us. Ugh, just take me, God. I don't want to do this anymore. I fucking hate it. It's like I'm on a hamster wheel and I don't want to get off the wheel because there's nothing in the world for me. So just fucking take me so I don't have to be here anymore. Anyways, like I said, this second video here, because the first one was about the global internet outage because of that company doing an update and it just wrecked everything, supposedly. I don't think that's what happened. I think it's a test for a cyber attack that our government is hosting, but they're claiming that that company, whatever it's called, I can't even think what it's called right now, Crowdstrike, they did an update and it broke the internet. And now we don't have planes, trains, banking systems, hospital systems, and everything else. It's all bad now, but it's okay. It's just an update. Don't you worry, supposedly. Anyways, we'll get on to this next video here. Once again, it is titled, Peter Doocy, These Headlines Are Just Brutal.
All right, we go now to our senior White House correspondent, Peter Doocy, on new reports that Biden could exit the race by this weekend. Peter, what's the latest?
Well, Ainsley, nobody can force President Biden to quit the race, and right now the campaign is saying he's not going to.
President's not going anywhere. The president can win, and so we should just go campaign on the issues because we're right on the issues. And we have a candidate with values and character. And if you look on the other side, you have a guy who only cares about himself, lies all the time, twice impeached, convicted of 34 felonies, and that's what we should be talking about.
But the headlines are brutal. NBC says Biden left feeling angry and betrayed by top Democratic leaders wavering on his campaign. CNN, many senior Biden officials believe he must drop out as he becomes increasingly isolated. Reuters says once defiant, Biden is now soul-searching about dropping out of the race. Punchbowl, Biden on the brink, and Democratic leaders get ready to move. The Washington Post, Pelosi has told House Democrats that Biden may soon be persuaded to leave the race. Washington Post, Obama tells allies Biden's path to winning re-election is greatly diminished, and Obama tells allies Biden needs to seriously consider his viability to win re-election, according to people briefed on the matter. 22 Democrats in the House or the Senate now say Joe must go. The latest, Montana's John Tester, who is up for re-election, and writes the following: Montanans have put their trust in me to do what is right, and it is a responsibility I take seriously. I've worked with President Biden when it has made Montana stronger, and I've never been afraid to stand up to him when he is wrong. And while I appreciate his commitment to public service and our country, I believe President Biden should not seek re-election to another term. So we've got officials from the campaign and from the White House insisting President Biden has not changed his mind from when he told us after the debate that he's going to stay in the race. But it is entirely possible that they don't know exactly what is going through his mind while he is still here at the beach house, isolated with COVID. Back to you.
All right. Thanks, Peter.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian.
Well, we'll see how it goes. I don't know if the audio is a little better or not. I can hear that I'm distorted, and I don't know why that's happening. Like, sorry I woke up today. Anyways, they're trying to push old man Walter out. We'll see if that actually happens or not. I was hearing yesterday while covering President Trump that Newsmax was telling everyone that that Biden is dropping out. I didn't hear that from Newsmax. I didn't go look for it. But that seems to be where everybody's getting that information, and it almost makes me wonder if Newsmax is about to get fucking sued or something, because how is Newsmax the source of Biden dropping out of the race? Like, there's been no authorization from the White House, not authorization, no official statement from the White House that means it's official. Fucking whatever the word is I'm trying to think of. Either way, Newsmax is not the authority on what happens with Biden. So for everyone to say, oh yeah, I heard on Newsmax that Biden's dropping out. Oh yeah, I heard on Newsmax that he's not going to be in the race anymore. But the White House hasn't put out that statement. That sounds really fucking weird to me. And so that's a thing that's going on. And I've seen people kind of already like take it like that's the truth. They're like, oh yeah, so when are they going to announce who's running in place of Biden? The White House hasn't even made an official statement on it yet. Like, so I don't know if Newsmax did something they weren't supposed to do or what. But there's people like really convinced because of Newsmax that Biden's done. He's called it quits. And so I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I don't think they want old man Walter to run. I don't know. I'm all scatterbrained now that I've had so many fucking problems. But I don't know. Old man Walter seems like he's dropping out of the race. To me, it's hard to say, though. A lot of people, like normies think that Biden is pulling them down. They think that Biden is sticking in the race to purposely lose. Like falling in the fight on purpose, like staging a fall. And I don't think they're going to let that slide. I don't think blue team's just going to accept a loss. I just don't. I don't think that's how it's going to go. I don't think that's how they do things. I still think they're going to do a sleight of hand and put in Newsom or Whitmer or somebody. Whitman. Somebody said Whitman yesterday. So I don't know. We got one more video. People speculating on what's going on. Might as well just get to it, I suppose. It's titled Representative Kat Kamik. You may see the 25th Amendment used by Democrats if Biden won't step aside. We'll just go ahead and get right into that. Now, I don't know who this woman is. Apparently, she's a representative of sorts, but doesn't tell me anything. So anyways, once again, this is Representative Kat Kamik. You may see the 25th Amendment used by Democrats if Biden won't step aside.
Representative Kat Kamik, strategically, looking at the situation we're at right now,
right?
Do you think the Democrat Party should stick with Biden in the state that he's in, or do you think that they should throw someone else in there?
All right, well, the political animal in me, of course, would adhere to Sun Tzu. Don't interrupt your opponent when they're making a mistake, right? So the best thing politically for Donald Trump and Republicans is for Joe Biden to stay on the ticket. However, as an American, this is dangerous. At this point, we should be asking for his car keys, not just the nuclear codes, right? So I think politically, yes, he needs to, he works on the ballot for us in our favor. But as an American, this is really, really dangerous. And so I believe, based on what I know now, that he will not be the nominee. He will not be on the top of the ticket. He will be asked to step aside, but Harris will be the top of the ticket.
What do you think it's going to take for him to step aside?
Ooh. Any family member who's had to deal with this issue of taking grandpa's car keys knows that it's no small feat. But I think it's going to require really the full force of the Democrat Party. And if they can't do it through coaxing him and persuading him, I think they may pull, excuse the expression, nuclear option, and you may see a 25th Amendment situation being called up.
Well, like I said, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I don't think Old Man Walter is going to want to step down. They just spent the last 4 years telling him that he's the most popular president of all time. That, you know, he won by 81 million votes and all this other stupid shit. Now he's not even going to run a second term. can't have it both ways. You can't act like he's the most popular president of all time and then turn around and not even run for a second term. What a bunch of nonsense. Their whole plan is just falling apart. They've worked on everything except for fooling normies. The last couple months must have been too easy for them because they're not trying to fool the normies anymore. When they brought President Trump to court and they started charging him for shit where there was no victims and making him pay fees, I feel like that was the beginning of them getting caught with their hand in the cookie jar. Like they just stopped with the optics and just kept going with being corrupt. And they just did it in front of everybody. And then President Trump got shot at, and now everyone's like, yeah, the government did it. And the government's like, no, don't think that. Think it was Iran or something. And everyone's like, nah, it was you. It was you guys. What are you talking about? They're like, nah, but there were 17 shooters. There was 14 different points of trajectories and all this other shit. Blah, blah, blah. Like, nah. You guys did it. That's what it is. You guys did it. You caused all of our fucking problems. So why wouldn't we think that you guys are taking shots at our president? You know? I mean, it just makes sense. Anyways, let me see what we got next here. Next up, we have whistleblowers allege hardly any Secret Service agents at Trump rally during shooting. Apparently, those so-called Secret Service agents weren't even that. They were new hires or something along those lines. And there was a bunch of other routine security things that they normally do that they just didn't do because everybody was on board with it. Everybody knew what was going to happen except for President Trump and us. That's it. So when I hear Joy Reid go out there and say, yeah, it was staged. Yeah, I think it was too. I think the government staged the whole thing, the fake officers and everything. I think the whole thing was staged. Not by President Trump, but by the fucking government. Either way, we're going to read through the chat really quick and see what you hooligans think about those first 3 videos. But first, I want to remind you guys, if you would like to participate in Free Speech Saturday, make sure you post all of your memes over on Discord or on jeffmaclive.com. Just hop in the group chats on either platform. You'll see the tabs labeled memes. Drop what you got and we'll shout you out as we're making Saturdays more fun. I'm going to read through the chat really quick and we'll get on to how more information on how they messed up Saturday. Matt, a bunch of temps. Yeah, they were fake agents. Zero, Hawley has a letter demanding answers from Mayorkas. There were Homeland Security investigators. Let me see if I can find the tweet. I think I saw that, Zero. Breeze by you, they overplayed their hand. Yeah, I think so. Matt, the scary part is that Grandpa's keys are the keys to the country. Yeah. I don't know. It's weird because if you watch fake news, like everything you know came from CNN, you would think that Biden was a fantastic, energetic, sharp as a tack leader all the way until like last week. Until the debate happened. Whenever that was, 2-3 weeks ago. The debate happened. Normies were like, holy shit, why doesn't Old Man Walter's brain work? Even Old Man Walter was like, holy shit, what is Trump saying? I've never heard any of this stuff. People really don't like me? The border's really unsafe? I didn't know that. You know, like it was... I don't know. And then all of a sudden, he's just unfit. It started with having a bad day. Then he had a cold. Now he's having just a bad week. Now he's got the COVID. And it's like, damn, that's a pretty steep decline. According to CNN, it was like this and then like this. That's what happened to Old Man Walter. Because, you know, a month ago, he was more energetic than KJP. Running circles around KJP. And now they're talking about using the 25th Amendment on him because he won't step aside on his own choices. Like, Blue Team can't even understand how fake they are. They were all in on Biden a month ago. They were all in on him. And now they're saying he needs to be replaced because of what's happening. What's happening has been happening since before he even got into office. So, like, it's so stupid to watch when you know what's going on. And it's even worse when you run into normies and they're like, oh, poor Poor Biden. What do you mean poor Biden? He's been doing this shit for 4 years. Been dying right in front of us. He's a hostage at the White House. That's what's going on. What do you mean poor Biden? You should have been saying that shit. Like, goodness. Anyways, Sam, old man Walter's been done for a while. I agree. Hair juicer feed is good, but the audio is bad. Yeah, I was listening on the phone. I don't know what's going on. I'm working on it. The volume is... it might be better now. I don't know. I'm looking at the signal right now, and it looks... I don't know how to say it. I keep having these thoughts that are going to trail down to long explanations, and I just do not have the patience for that. But hopefully the audio is sounding a little better. I'll check it again when we play the next video. We're hearing distortion. It was digital distortion, not analog distortion. Breeze by you. Anyone that can't see through the BS by now is completely lost. Yeah. Well, they're so full of lies. They're so full of lies. They got years of everyone lying to them. And it's not, it's a pyramid scheme of lies. Because it's not just the news lying to your friends and your family and stuff. Their friends and family are on top of it. So, CNN spreads the bullshit to Uncle Tom. Uncle Tom comes by, sees Sally. Hey, did you hear the bullshit that I heard? And Sally goes, no, I ain't heard that. Uncle Tom is like, hey, let me give you these lies really quick. Sally's like, damn, I ain't heard those lies yet. She goes to work and she tells all her friends. She's like, hey, Susan, you hear these lies? Susan's like, no, I ain't heard these lies yet. Susan now gets the lies. Now everybody's telling the fucking lies, right? But then you walk into work, you're like, hey, what's up? And they're like, man, did you hear of the lies? And you're like, that's not true. I was there. And they're like, you're a fucking commie, right? You're a Trump supporter. You're a white supreme pizza. You're a racist. And it's like, no, I'm just the person not being fucking lied to. And they're like, oh, yeah. And then they wander off and put their mask back on. Like, because that's what it is. That's what it is. They've been lied to for years, and it's not just the news. Their family, their friends, their jobs making rules based off the lies that the news is telling. You know what I mean? This is like severe brainwashing going on, and there's multiple levels to it. It's like inception of brainwashing going on. And so, yeah, they run into a truther, they run into a hooligan, and then they're like, oh, you're weird. Yeah, I'm weird because I ain't being lied to. That's why. And it's so hard to convince them otherwise. How do you tell them their family's wrong, their friends are wrong, their job is wrong, the news they watch is wrong? That makes it sound like you're the person that's in the wrong, because there's so many people lying to them. Because the mainstream media is the source. The White House is the source. They're supposed to be credible sources, and they're not, because they're the ones that are lying to you. And the normies don't get it. And so they see old man Walter, and they're like genuinely shocked. They're like, it must have been a Trump supporter put something in his food. Like, no, he's been dying in front of us for years. But the fake news is hiding it from you and lying to you. Telling you to hate the truth. Telling you to hide from the truth. To run from it. It's no good. It is no good. No, Snooks, the audio, it was me. I was listening on my phone too. Hopefully it's better now though. It was something, like I said, long explanations that I don't have the patience to deal with right now, but we'll get it figured out. Thank you so much, Alistair, for the $25 donation over on Rumble. You're such a badass, Alistair. Thank you so much. It says, tech issues happen. We're with you, Jeff. Life is good. Can't wait for the voice chat later on jeffmaclive.com. Happy Freedom Friday. You're awesome, Alistair. Thank you. If you hooligans haven't checked it out yet, we got Trump throwing up the fighting fist right there in the chat. We got brand new emojis across all platforms except for YouTube, because one, fuck YouTube, and two, they don't let me put custom emojis up because they wanted to demonetize me in front of everyone. So, sorry. Sorry if you're on YouTube. Shouldn't watch on the communist platform. We have plenty of better places to watch. But either way, everyone else got Trump fist emojis. It's the only kind of fisting you're going to like. So anyways, Alistair is the one that put that together. So big shout out to Alistair for creating our Trump fist in the air, fight, fight, fight emojis. Thank you, Alistair. Hey, be safe out there, Black White Bull. I know there's stuff going on out there. Pumpkin, you fixed it? Awesome. Thank you for letting me know, Pumpkin. Josh, give it that hawk tour. I'm saying. I need a lot of Hawk Tuah right now. like an unrealistic amount. Fitzy, did you see the shooter on the water tower? There's a bunch of video. I am going to disprove all these lies to you guys, and you will either like it or you won't. Paul, Right Silver should have never connected to the internet. I don't know what Right Silver is. What's up, Nostalgic? Happy Freedom. Nostalgic, I'm looking forward to the DNC. Chock full of drag queens, DEI rejects, Leah Thomas's bulge. Rumor has it that the Easter Bunny will make a special appearance to guide Biden around the stage. Fuck yeah, Nostalgic. That's exactly what it's going to be like. I'm trying to figure out when it's actually going to take place. I heard it was a month away. Then somebody said it was 2 weeks away. So I don't even know when the DNC is. I don't really want to cover its entirety, you know, but definitely going to have highlights from it and stuff like that. We'll see. We'll see how it turns out. I don't really want to call it now because maybe it'll be a really funny thing to watch. You know, hear them lie to each other and get all cynical. Maybe they'll eat a child on stage. I don't know. But we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. Pumpkin, deep breath, count to 10. I can't. It actually makes me mad. I was in anger management for like 6 or 7 times. And that's one of the things I can't do. Deep breath and counting to 10 actually pisses me off. To me, it feels like a countdown. I get to 10 and now it's like lethal. Lori Q. Oh, so glad you came over to Rumble. Thank you, Jeff. Lori, we've been on Rumble for 2+ years. Honestly, but I'm glad you're here with us. What was really crazy is getting punished on YouTube for speaking and then having people go, you should be on Rumble. And I'm like, we've been on Rumble. I can't get you guys to go over there. And they demonetized me. And I was like, we're either going to sink or we're going to swim. And so we've been on Rumble ever since. And other than the tech problems we have every once in a while, it's been fantastic to be liberated from the YouTube plantation. Hate that place. Shannon, last night was fun. I had to go to bed. Yeah, last night was awesome. That's why we pulled a lot of highlights from it. Yesterday was so awesome. I'm surprised we didn't have that many people in the chat because last night was fantastic. And I mean, we had low numbers, but either way, I was really grateful to have everybody here. And we had a really good time last night. What's up, Squid? Happy Freedom. What's up, Muzo? Happy Freedom. Muzu. I always want to say Muzo. There was somebody my little brother went to high school with. There was a Muzo. Tony Rich, yes, the lies come from every direction. Yeah. And it's done that way on purpose because then it looks like you're the one in the wrong. When you tell the truth, you look like a minority, but you're not. It's the internet plays a big part in it. Social media does. And I say this all the time. Social media makes it look like it's 50-50. There's 50% liberals, 50% conservatives. It's not true though. Go into a Walmart. Go into a mall. Go anywhere where there's a large amount of people. And you're going to see mostly normal people. Conservatives look like normal people. So you're going to see normies and conservatives where 75% of the room, if not more, maybe 90% of the room, will look normal. And then you'll have a very small percentage of the room that is a bunch of rainbow-haired kid fuckers and people like that, right? But on the internet, it looks 50-50. We spend a lot of time on the internet, on social media specifically. So you get this perception that it's a 50-50 world out there. The Democrats push their lies. The fake news pushes their lies. People who think the world is like social media hear these lies and go, oh, they must be telling the truth. You know, because the liars on social media are pushing it, and that matches what the fake news is saying and what the White House is saying. It must be true. Well, no, conservatives are censored on the internet. So you're hearing a big portion of liberals speak on social media and not that much conservative talk or truth that's going on because of censorship. And so that's a big part of why the brainwashing is so effective to normies and blue team idiots and shit like that, is because the social media gives you a weird perception of how the world works. That's not real. It's so off. It is an inaccurate perception of what life is like. And it's because the liberals don't get censored on social media. And so that's what really carries the lies. If if social media was uncensored, you'd have 90% conservative people talking. You would have people telling the truth, having actual accounts of what happened in every event that happens, right? And then when the news comes out and goes, nah, we're going to lie to you, people would understand. They would say, oh, well, that doesn't line up with the 100,000 people I'm connected to on social media. You must be lying to me. But because of the censorship and why censorship is bad, it's tricking people. And that's what's really going on. But it is what it is. All you can do is tell people the truth. You can't make them believe it. And there's only so much time in a day. So you give them a little bit of time, they don't receive it, keep moving. If they want to cut their wiener off and take themselves out, then too bad. You know, they didn't listen to you when you told them the truth. So all you can do is attend the funeral, be there for the people you care about, and try not to crack jokes about how stupid they were. You know, that's about all you got. Anyways. Here, Juicer saying, count backwards from 10. Made me stew on what made me mad in the first place. It's a good idea, Hair Juicer. I never even thought about switching it up. I appreciate you, Hair Juicer. Breeze by you, they want us to question what we saw with our own eyes. Yes, and that's what pisses me off about the stupid water tower thing. It's like, we were there watching it. We saw what happened. The problem is that the people who are pushing this shit, like I said, I think it's the government who are pushing the multiple shooter thing, and Iran did it, and 3 phones with overseas encryptions, and Durka. Meanwhile, he's a tranny 20-year-old. Like, come on. But it's fake. It's inaccurate. There's a video that shows the water tower. It's all blurry. It's pixelated. You can't tell what nothing. You're making out pixels. And they're like, I think it's a shadow, but it could be a sniper. It's hard to say. And then there's maps. There's like images with lines and shit. The lines are not accurate. They're not. I went on Google Maps myself. And for real, myself. And looked at the satellite images of the area in Pennsylvania. Okay. I took screenshots and everything. It's all over Twitter. These maps and shit that they're showing you guys, and they're like, oh, but see, the direction of the bullet came from here. That's not even where the fucking water tower is. If you go look with your own eyeballs and stop taking advice from other people, you'd see that that's bullshit. It is bullshit. The shots did not come from the fucking water tower. They had to snap the back of his head. There's no way they would have been able to hit him in the ear and not hit him in the noggin from the water tower, because the water tower is from the back end of the stands. But these liars who are conning you guys, they're telling you that the water tower was to the right of the stage. It's not. It's not. When President Trump is looking at the monitor, the water tower is at his 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock. He would have took a round to the melon. That's what would have happened. But nobody's doing their own fucking work. Everyone's believing these lies on Twitter. It's not real. That shit is bullshit. The government did it, and they don't want you guys to think that. So they're giving you more information than you're asking for, so you will stop asking questions, and you'll be lost in the sauce. But it's okay. You don't have to believe me. I'm going to show it to you. I'm going to. And you're either going to believe me or you're not. And I don't care either way. I'm just tired of people tagging me in the bullshit, because I don't believe it. I don't believe it. So, anyways. What do we got next on the menu? Oh, yeah. Let's get right into the fake shit. So, we'll play this next video, then afterwards I'm going to disperse the smoke and mirrors, and it's going to land however it lands, and that's just all there is to it. But before we get into that, we'll get into this video. It's titled, Breaking, Whistleblowers Allege That Hardly Any Secret Service Agents Were Even at the Trump rally During the Shooting. Saying that basically those people we thought were agents, they're not. And we continue. Again, the government wasn't involved in this, but, you know, the people who hired the Secret Service agents, that was fucked up. Anyways, let's get this rolling.
To follow the latest here in Trump's attempted assassination, we are getting big breaking news here on this Friday. This is all according to Senator Josh Hawley. He has whistleblowers coming to him that detail most of Trump's security detail working the event last Saturday were not even Secret Service. Again, we're not even Secret Service. DHS assigned unprepared and inexperienced personnel. So this is the letter right now that Senator Josh Hawley just put out to the Department of Homeland Security, saying, to raise concerns brought to me by whistleblowers about your department's stunning failure to protect former President Trump on July 13th, 2024. As Secretary of Homeland Security, you are ultimately responsible for your agency and its components, including the U.S. Secret Service. Whistleblowers who have direct knowledge of the event have approached my office according to the allegations. The July 13th rally was considered to be a loose security event. For example, detection canines were not used to monitor entry and detect threats in the usual manner. Individuals without proper destinations were able to gain access to backstage areas. Department personnel did not appropriately police the security buffer around the podium and were also not stationed at regular intervals around the event's security perimeter. In addition, whistleblower allegations suggest the majority of DHS officials were not, in fact, Secret Service agents, but instead drawn from the department's Homeland Security investigations. This is especially concerning given that these security investigators were unfamiliar with standard protocols typically used at these types of events, according to the allegations. As a member of the Senate Homeland Security and Governmental Affairs Committee, which has oversight jurisdiction over your department, I will continue to investigate your department's role in the staggering security failures on July 13th. Unfortunately, your department has not been appropriately forthcoming with members of Congress, abruptly ending the only call with the Secret Service before senators could even ask a question. This is completely unacceptable and contrary to the public's interest in transparency. Instead, we have learned more from whistleblowers than your department's officials. I will continue to protect the confidentiality of all who contact my office and ensure that they receive the full protections under the law to which they are entitled, so that my office can continue its investigation into the events of July 13th, 2024. Please provide the following information no later than 7 days from now. Number one, how did DHS determine to staff the event, including any decision to rely on state or local officers? Number two, what percentage of the DHS agents at the event were from HSI rather than the Secret Service? Were a majority of officers at the event drawn from HSI or other DHS components rather than Secret Service? If so, why? Were HSI agents properly trained in staffing these types of events? Did gaps exist in the security perimeter, and were the usual protocols followed for the use of canines and magnetometers? Were agents not appropriately stationed around the podium? Were the standard protocols followed for issuing designated pins to vetted personnel that are allowed backstage? How long did agents physically spend on the ground surveying the site before the event? Did any paperwork obligations prevent a longer and more robust site survey? I await your response. Again, that's Senator Josh Hawley from Missouri with these big whistleblower allegations that have come forward to Senator Hawley. And now this continues to be a major story here, and just really the complete breakdown of security protocols for the former president, Donald Trump. And we will continue to follow really every aspect of this story because it's such a big one. He almost lost his life, and it looks like now from these whistleblowers, they did not have the correct staff for Donald Trump that day. And that is a complete breakdown. And every day it seems something new comes up in this investigation because, well, we haven't got the full story just yet. Secret Service still not giving those updates in a timely fashion. We'll be back. More to come on Live Now from Fox.
Well, like you said, every day more details seem to come out. And it's all bad stuff. It's all bad stuff. Like I said yesterday, 70 things all went wrong all at the same time. Just magically. This, like I said, the stars aligned. And perfectly lined up that shot. And he missed. Thank God. Thank God. Yeah. Stupid. No K9 units. People were making it into the backstage. without being authorized, like, near elected officials such as President Trump. Just wander back there. Like, God, there's more security at a concert, Like, if you've ever gone to a concert, they're pretty tight about security. You got to do some lying and crying and pull some titties out. You're trying to get backstage at a concert, let alone a presidential rally. Like, I don't know. It's all nonsense, and I can't wait till we're farther from it so we don't have to cover it every day. I'm so tired of it. We'll never know the truth. That's the hard truth about all of this, is that I don't think we will ever know for real what was going on. I just don't. I mean, other than what we know, right? They're going after President Trump. That's obvious. Outside of that, I don't think we'll actually know what happened. We're going to read through the chat really quick, and then I'm going to piss everybody off by going through these conspiracy theories that are floating around, and I keep getting tagged in it. We're going to talk about the water tower and why I don't think the water tower is a thing other than a distraction. And then now people are saying that the the Secret Service director was actually sitting in the crowd, amped up and ready to watch the president be assassinated. And I don't think that's true either. And so we're going to go through both of those until I basically don't have anyone watching me anymore, because it's going to piss everybody off. But I believe what I believe, and I'm here to tell you guys what I think is true. And that's what I'm going to do, regardless of how everybody's going to feel about it. So anyways, we're going to read through the chat really quick and see what you hooligans think about that video we just watched about how just routine security wasn't even followed for President Trump's rally last Saturday where the shooting happened. So we're going to get through that, and we'll be out here getting through these conspiracy theories. Breezebody, you won't be pissing me off because I know you're right. I don't know that I'm right. I just know that what other people are saying doesn't make sense, and I have some proof on why I don't think it makes sense. I don't know that I'm right because I don't think we'll ever know what really happened. I just see a lot of line blurring going on right now. And everybody's debating and infighting over these goofy details that don't really matter when you think about the fact that the people that govern us are out to get him, and we know that they're out to get us. We saw it with the censorship. They censored President Trump, and half people were mad and half the people were excited about it, and then they started censoring all of us. And then everybody was mad. And it seems to be that whatever they do to him, they want to do it to us. And so instead of everybody fighting over details that don't fucking matter, if there was one shooter, 3 shooters, or 5 shooters, how does that change your mind? What does that do about anything? What does it matter? It doesn't. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It literally does not matter. The style of rifle, the position, how many shooters. The point is they were trying to do something bad to President Trump because they don't want us to make him president. That's the point. So I don't know why we're all fighting and shit over details that don't matter. They don't matter. If you spill milk on the ground, does it matter if it's chocolate, strawberry, or regular? No, it doesn't. I mean, unless you're trying to figure out what that smell is going to be like next week if you don't clean it up. Otherwise, it doesn't matter. So we need to get off that. And that's why I want to go through this. It's not an objective of me going, ha, you're stupid, you got tricked. I never said that. I'm trying to get the blurriness out of the way so we can just move forward and stop the goofiness. By trying to figure out the details that they're providing you that's a bunch of bullshit, you're playing the game. Don't play the game. These fuckers are lying to you. They just took shots at the president. Don't play their game. Walk away from it. We were there. We know what happened. Walk away from that shit. That's why they keep giving details. As long as you're hungry for it, they're going to keep giving it to you. And they're pulling it directly out of their ass and they're handing it right to you. Don't take it. Don't walk away from it. We know we were there. We know. But that's why we got to go through it. That's why. So everyone can be more confident. And if you don't believe it and you think shooters around the water tower, there's 15 shooters and they were all hired by Iran and Iran provided, cell phones with overseas encryption, then believe it. I don't care. It doesn't affect me that you believe what you believe. The point is I don't believe it. I don't want to be tagged in the dumb shit anymore. And I'm going to air my thoughts, and that's it. That's it. Tom, don't touch my chocolate milk. That's how WMM is. He's like that too. He's like, don't mess with my chocolate milk. I don't be drinking milk. I don't drink any kind of milk. He's very serious about his chocolate milk though. RK, I had the water tower in perfect view. I would have noticed immediately. Yeah. Well, yeah, and I'm really interested to hear like what your perception was of it, RK, with you actually being there in the crowd. I'm interested to hear how it was from your perspective. You know, what you were feeling, what you were thinking, what it appeared to be like. You know, did the crowd act suspicious? Did Secret Service act suspicious? When a shooting happens, generally people point. Did you see people pointing at the water tower? And a lot of people reference this interview of a woman that said something, they shot him at the water tower or something. And I think she misspoke. I think she didn't know what she was talking about. Like, she was like, you know, they shot the guy, he was by the water tower, as in that direction. And I think they ran with it. I think CIA saw that and was like, oh, they think the shooter was at the water tower. Let's put out a bunch of information saying there was a bunch of shooters out there, and they were everywhere. They were in the bushes. There was a plane that did a drive-by and shit. And they're just, here you go. I'll keep giving you shit until you don't know what the painting is. That's a great example. It's like painting with every color. Eventually, everything just becomes a blur. Eventually, there's not separate colors anymore. The more colors you keep adding to the mixture, eventually you just get black. You just end up with darkness. You don't even know anymore. That's what is happening. That's what's happening. It's happening right in front of me. RK, they should have had Demolition Ranch set up there. I seen the statement by the guy that does Demolition Ranch. I feel bad that he even felt compelled to go out there and say that they're not affiliated with the shooter. They don't know why the shooter was wearing DR clothing. You know, like, it's sad that he had to go do that. To be like, hey, we don't want those things. We don't agree with the shooter. He was just wearing our shit. He said that, and I was like, I'm so glad the shooter didn't die with a hooligan t-shirt on. Like, holy fuck. Like, holy fuck, that could have been me. Could have been me sitting there. And I got bad luck. I wouldn't have been sitting on the ranch like him. I'd have been sitting in prison or something like that. I'd been sitting in the morgue. Somebody else had been telling my story. Hillary would have got me. I don't know. Like, I feel bad for the dude at Demolition Ranch to have to do that and to have that kind of publicity. It's not good publicity. I'm sure he'll be fine. He's got millions of followers or whatever, but still. Shouldn't have had to happen, you know? Shouldn't have been that way. Let's see. Reading through. I know I'm all wound up today. It's probably making the show suck. My apologies. Thank you so much, Hair Juicer, for the $50 donation on Rumble. You're such a badass, Hair Juicer. Thank you so much. It says, get some nice booze or a cheap massage. We love you, dog. You're awesome, Hair Juicer. Thank you. Goodness. A cheap massage. Let me wander around Muskegon like, hey, want to give me a cheap massage? Never had a massage before. That's what I tell her. Yeah. Wayward Demo Ranch is why I started watching YouTube and stuff. See, I've never watched a whole Demolition Ranch episode. I don't follow them or anything like that. And it's not that I don't have a reason why. I don't have time to watch videos. I watch the news. That's it. I watch the news. I'm providing the news, or I'm sleeping. That's only 4 hours at a time. So that's it. Otherwise, I probably would watch Demolition Ranch. They seem like cool people. I've seen when they test certain things, they're testing body armor. I think they tested the bulletproof vest that I have, the Safe Life Defense vest that Edward had sent me. And I think that was one of the places I went to watch a review of it to see how it stood up to multiple calibers, multiple shots, things like that. Faded, you spelled mouth hug wrong. A nice little mouth hug. I love that. I love that shit. Goodness. God, we were having so much fun yesterday during the RNC event here in President Trump speak. We were talking about what kind of sex talk you would have if you were president. Like, you know, you're giving it to her and you're like giving her that presidential speech. You know, it's just so much funny stuff we were talking about yesterday. Demo Matt has canceled at least one event that he was supposed to be at. I didn't even know he did events. Zero, he was too dumb to be a hooligan. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I know that. I know that. Faded. You cracked me up. My goodness. Cricket Kiss, where are you going with that ladder and rifle, kid? Yeah, I mean, you know, they could have stopped him. I've seen videos of construction guys carrying a ladder. They're like, hey, Secret Service missed this giant ass ladder. He's like, somehow they didn't see one of these. Like, yeah, nothing about the whole deal makes sense. Alistair, yeah, Jeff's right. Been watching a few people like Bongino who work with the SS, and he's saying the same thing that Jeff's saying, same questions, calling out the same distractions. Yeah, Alistair, I think I'm going to start watching Bongino because I keep hearing a lot of people say that we're really close on certain things that we're perceiving. I'm going to have to see what that's all about. Screaming Eagle, fat, stupid DEI chicks. I know. So embarrassing. So embarrassing. I was thinking that when we were watching the last video and you see President Trump go down and the Secret Service swarm him, and then there's like 3 or 4 people on like this side of the stage that just kind of run behind the stage. There's people on the right side of the stage or the left side, and they're just kind of standing there. They don't know what to do. And then I think about President Trump last night giving his speech, and he's like, yeah, in the Secret Service, they dove right in. And I said something last night during the speech. I was like, not all of them. Not all of them did. And I feel bad because I know President Trump is trying to be professional. He doesn't want to talk bad about the Secret Service. But you know that he knows. You know he knows that those people fucked up. They didn't do what they were supposed to. 100%. Wayward Son, haven't watched him in years, but his channel is fun. Yeah, Demolition Ranch. I think so too. Wizard, I don't have the interwebs. I'm disappointed. What do you mean you're on the internet right now? What is it? DPF? He probably hollered to the cops, hey man, can you give me a hand with this ladder? I know. Well, it kills me that a cop walked up the ladder, saw the shooter pointed a gun at him, and this is all supposedly. Shooter points a gun at him, cop retreats. You ever seen that? Because I've never seen that. Anytime there's been a standoff or a cop arresting somebody and an individual points a gun at the cop doesn't go, hold on a second, I'll go get backup, and then leave? Just walk away? I thought they had radios. They don't have radios anymore? There's no radios? Okay. Like, he should have, if anything, well, obvious, get out of the line of fire, right? Come down the ladder or whatever. But then radio backup, pull out the pew pew, go back up the ladder. Not go on vacation, not go make a sandwich or whatever the fuck he went and did. You know, like, it's just, we could be here all day talking about that shit. Anyways. Let's see. RK, we were too busy trying not to pass out from the heat. I really don't notice anything until the gunshots. Yeah, RK. Well, yeah. And I mean, that makes a lot of sense. Nobody knew. I was sending out notifications. I didn't even remember any of this until President Trump walked out on stage yesterday. He walked out on stage and I grabbed my phone because that's what I do. He comes out, I start the live, I say my hellos to everybody, and I pick up my phone and I send out the notification to 12 or 13 platforms like, hey, we are live right now. And I picked up the phone, I started sending the notification, I heard pop, pop, and I looked up and I just see the president grab his ear and then hit the deck. And then I'm like, what the fuck? Like, sitting here with my phone in my hand. I didn't remember any of that until he walked out on stage last night. And I started the live. I said what's up to everybody. He came out and I reached for my phone. And then it was just like I was back in the moment. It was like I felt my skin grow cold and like lightning go down my spine. And all of a sudden I was sitting there again and the president was being shot at. And it was like, holy fuck. And it hit me really hard. So hard I couldn't send out the notifications. I had to wait like an hour to do it because I just couldn't bring myself to do it. And I know that's so stupid, but that's how it is. It's real life. It's real life. So No, nobody knew. Nobody knew the president was going to be shot at. So I think that's what happens. That's a part of what contributes to memory loss. When there's trauma of any sort, usually memory loss is involved with it. And it's because of going into fight and flight. You're scratching your ass, you're talking to your friends, you're looking at some chick's boobs, and then all of a sudden the president's being shot at. Well, you don't remember the boobs, you know what I mean? Like, that's all out the window because you're trying to protect your own life, save the people around you, things like that. You know, everybody's a little different, but I think that's what contributes to memory loss. All right, so we're going to jump into this mess here. We might not even read the comments because I don't want to hear the hate. It's going to go however it's going to go. But anyways, let's get into this messiness. This image is circulating everywhere. And they're trying to tell you that the water tower shooter that they believe exists had a better shot at President Trump than the rooftop. Now, even in the image they're depicting, it shows them shooting over the Jumbotron, right? I don't even know if that's how it would be because President Trump is so much lower than the Jumbotron that I almost feel they would have to shoot through the screen. And I didn't even think that until just now. But anyways, this is what they're trying to tell you. The red line on the screen is the water tower shooter, okay? And they're like, yeah, blah, blah. And they base so much shit off this image right here. But then as you go down, you have my screenshot. On the left is my actual screenshot. Me going to Google Maps, turning on the satellite thing, tilting down the view, so we have almost the same exact perspective. The red dot where I dropped the pin is where the stage is. That is where President Trump was standing. And I mean, I zoomed all the way in and did all the things. I did all the due diligence. I looked at the buildings. I looked at the what appears to be dirt roads on the map. It's not. It's actually the outline of a fence, but it looks like a dirt road. And I matched it all up. That red dot on the left picture is where President Trump was standing. Okay? Now, on my picture in the top right corner, you can see the white circle. That white circle is the water tower. Okay? You can see the buildings to the left top corner. That's where the shapeshifter was, the shooter, right? The shooter number one was over there. Now, if you look at the top right where the water tower is and come down and look at the tree line and then look at the image to the right, that red line does not point at the water tower. That image that they're trying to sell you, this is not pointing at the water tower. It is pointing at a building. It is far left of the water tower. Now, these people are trying to break the truth to you, right? Why are they fucking lying then? Why did they crop out where the water tower is? So they could lie about the trajectory. Well, I thought they were truthers. Why is the information so inaccurate? That doesn't make any sense. Aren't they trying to break the news? Shouldn't they double check, triple check, make sure they're accurate? So that means the shot should look more like this. The purple line, which obviously I did, is where the shot would have came from if it was from the water tower. There's no way for President Trump to look this direction and point his ear towards the podium and have a shooter at his 2 o'clock that didn't clip the back of his head. There's no way. There's no way. They could not have shot him in the ear from that far behind the stage. It could not have happened that way. So don't tag me in this stupid shit anymore. It doesn't make sense. They're fucking lying to you. This is all bullshit. It's all bullshit. Now, if you believe it, I'm not calling you stupid. Okay? So don't be offended and all bent out of shape. We're all just trying to figure out what happened, which is why we're all so wound up about this. Okay? So don't take this as me calling you stupid. I'm telling you that people are lying to us. They're lying to us. So anyways, that is the first part. The second part is these goofy people out here claiming that the director or whoever, I guess it's assistant director. It's not the director, but it's the assistant director. They're claiming that this woman that everyone is blaming for shitty Secret Service was actually in the crowd. She was in the background waiting for President Trump to get assassinated, phone out, ready to go. And there's, I don't know if you guys can, yeah, so there's commentary with that. My apologies if that was messy to listen to. The commentary in this video is trying to tell you that the woman's behaving strange, that it's actually the assistant director of Secret Service, and she was there to record President Trump's assassination. That's what they're saying. And that little image at the bottom is supposed to be a comparison. Okay. Well, of course, I went and did the thing. So let me get this figured out really quick. Come on, load up. I went and got the screenshots and shit. I went and did the thing. It's not the same woman. It's not. They're going to tell you it is, but it's not. They're trying to tell you that these two women here are the same woman. They are not. Like it's fucking obvious. Look at her buff ass neck. She ain't got collarbones. She doesn't have any kind of collarbones, but look at the woman in the crowd. She's all collarbones. There's like quite a bit of an age difference here. And the woman in the crowd is very knobby. Her nose, her chin, her ears, her jawline is very knobby. It's like hillbilly looking, right? But the assistant director here is not. She's built like a man. She's built like a dude. She's got a buff ass jawline and stuff. I mean, how zoomed in do you want to get here? We got buff neck, hardly any facial lines, thick meat, right? This woman is meat. She's meat. But then look at this. She's extra knobby and skinny. And I went and looked through a bunch of pictures. I even looked through the video we played yesterday of the assistant director woman, whatever. She's still meat neck. She's all meat neck. It's not the same person. They're lying to you guys. They're lying to you. They are giving you more information than you're asking for to blur the lines of reality. Okay. That's all I have for going through the rabbit hole. Okay. We're not done with the show, but that's it for the rabbit hole. Now I will go ahead, and I'm not going to argue with you guys, but I will read through the chat and see what you hooligans think, and maybe you'll have some eye-opening information that'll make me reconsider this. I am totally open to that. I'm not going to argue with you guys, though. If you don't agree with me, then don't agree with me. And if you believe the shooter, there's 17 shooters and they all had bologna sandwiches for lunch, great. I'm not telling you you're stupid or anything like that. You know, once again, this is not a personal attack on you. This is me telling you what I believe and why I believe those things. And that's it. So, anyways, we're going to read through the chat, but we're going to read through the chat, but next up, as I'm trying to say, we have some RNC stuff. It's all good stuff. And we'll be starting off with a video titled, I Caught Laura Loomer Loomering Jake Tapper Live at the RNC. And obviously she's going after fake news because they contributed to what happened to President Trump. But before we get into that, we are going to read through the chat. Where's my chapstick? That's what he said. Anyways. Matt, no way that's the same person. Yeah. And that's the newest one. The newest one is the assistant director was in the crowd. That's been everywhere today. I mean, I know it started yesterday, but today people are catching it and they're passing it around. So, Breeze by you don't think it was the same person? Zero, no, they wouldn't be anywhere near the shit show. Yeah, I don't think so either. And I think it was Nobody's Fault on Rumble asking why would there only be one shooter? If it was so sophisticated, like the government staged this, why is there only one shooter? Because then they only had to shoot one shooter. That's why. They have somebody do the thing, then they take out the somebody, and now they saved the day. They just saved the day. You know, it's much easier to only have one person you got to take out after the job's done. You know how the government is. And that's why I believe there was only one shooter. You know, but like I said, it's just what I believe. Russell, but you don't know where. Wait a minute. You don't know where there were 18 shooters. The one that shot was really a donkey. That is the absolute truth. You're right. You're right, Russell. He was. He's no longer here with us. RK, I can't believe they're pushing that bullshit. Yeah, they're going to keep saying anything and everything. But I bet tomorrow they're going to tell us there's aliens involved. A UFO flew over and time froze for a minute. 3 people jumped out of a time portal. You know, like, it's just, that's all that's left at this point. They've said everybody has been involved. Hair juicer, the tunnel vision is crazy. Pointing my rifle at another person was more traumatizing than seeing someone get shot. Heart is pounding just typing that. Yeah, hair juicer. I talk about that every once in a while. People act like they want violence, but even if you're the guy winning the fight, you don't feel like you won. Like, when it comes to violence, there are no winners. There are no winners. You know, like, a lot of people talk about, you know, cops. Cops go and they have to do a really hard job, and things happen, and they try not to shoot the bad guy, and you're like, well, why? Why not just shoot the bad guy? Because then they got to live with it. And it's better to almost shoot somebody than it is to have to shoot somebody. Because even though they're the dumbass, they're doing whatever's wrong, they're putting everyone's life in danger, you got to take them out. Now you got to live with it. Now you're stuck with that. They made you do that to them, and now you got to walk around sort of incapacitated because of what they did, because you had to do that. And it's hard to carry that around with you. I've had lots of bad stuff happen, things that I can't talk about on the live, that I wish I didn't have to carry around with me, but that's what makes me know that it's not worth it to fly off the handle, to be crazy, to be bad. It's not worth it. It's not. And it's easy to get caught in the moment and to get mad, get upset, and react and not react appropriately. But if you can reclaim that self-control, it's like, don't go out there and do bad things, because even if you're in the right, it still feels bad. There's no winners in violence. There's just not. Sucks. Russell, my barn door is open. Why does it sound sexual when you say it? Goodness. Yeah, Sam. Yeah. It very much is like that day. It's just so many people wanting answers that the lines are getting blurred, you know? 0. Oh, now I see why Russell said that. Okay, 0. Were the barn doors open below the shooter? I can't remember. I don't think so. I don't think they were. But I can't really remember. I'd have to go back and look at it, but just from my recall, which is kind of 50-50, I don't think they were open. I don't remember seeing an opening thinking, you know, like, who was in the building. So in my memory, I feel like it was closed. The building was closed off. SEPA, some say the water tower shooter shot the bystander and the roof guy shot Trump. Yeah, SEPA, I've seen that too. The same thing with the video, the blurry video where they're all zoomed in and they're like, there's a guy standing on the top of the water tower. I don't know that anybody would do that, because the top of the water tower is all slick and slippery, and I don't even know if there's a way to get up there. There might be a ladder to get up there, but generally when you climb a water tower, there's a catwalk all the way around it. Why wouldn't the shooter stand there where people stand instead of being on top where the silver cap is? And I think people are seeing that shadow casted from the cap on top of the tower, on the very top of the tower, and they're assuming by zooming into this pixelated footage that that's a shooter up there. And I don't think it is. I think if there was a shooter on the water tower, he'd have been on the catwalk. He wouldn't have climbed up on a, you know, in a place that isn't really for people to walk on. You know, like, humans made that thing. Like, there's places for people to walk, and there's places that ain't really for people to walk. And if you walk on it, chances are, you know, you're gonna get messed up. You know, that's what happens. You're screwing around. But like I said, I don't think we'll ever know what actually happened. I just don't. Cricket Kiss, interesting that Trump said they tried to kill me. Well, I think he just means, like, you know, the opposition. But yeah, it's true. Jeffro, they won't be able to replace Biden with other than Harris, and no one wants that. Yeah, Jeffro, and that's what I'm trying to figure out too, because there's talk that Harris is going to beat Trump. I can't even believe it. Like, I can't even entertain the thought. I can't entertain the thought, because they're like, oh yeah, Harris is pulling at 87%. It was like 4 o'clock in the morning or some shit. Like the AP News or somebody was posting that. I was like, what? And they're like, yeah, she's got a 4-point lead on Trump or something. What? Like, Biden hasn't even announced that he's stepping down. What? And it's like all day yesterday. Polls coming. Oh, yeah, Harris has got a really good shot at President Trump. It's like, hey, you should change your wording on that. You know, it's dumb. They're pushing their bullshit. That's what it is. I don't believe those polls at all. They take too many polls. That's their problem. They're taking too many polls, you know. Deep South Jody, take it as me calling you an idiot. Me? Well, that's all right. It doesn't bother me if you think I'm an idiot because I don't believe the water tower shit, but that's okay. Neighbor guy. Oh, I see. You were telling me about tech stuff. Appreciate you, neighbor guy. Guess who? Biden tests positive moments after having a business lunch-in with local Latino Dem business owners. So he's a super spreader. Oh, yeah. We covered that yesterday. We covered lots of footage of that. Geo, the scale of the shadow is way too big to be a person. Yeah, the problem is that people are not thinking. They're analyzing someone else's footage. They're not really thinking, you know, like close your eyes and think about what happened and being like, yeah, some guy climbed the water tower with a rifle, and then when he got to the plateau, he decided to climb up on the bulbous top where it's all slippery and shit, and then hang out up there for a while in the burning sun, and then take shots at President Trump from an angle that wouldn't have even clipped his ear. It would have been fatal. It would have either hit him or it wouldn't have. There would have been no way for them to hit him in the ear from that angle. But like I said, it's not me calling people stupid. It's me saying, we know what happened. Stop consuming this information. Recognize it. It's not about stopping it. It's about categorizing it correctly. You know, you got to, I saw that happen. I know that's true kind of pile. You got to, I didn't see any of that shit and I watched the whole thing kind of pile. And you got to, I don't really know about this shit. Not sure about it. We're going to put it over here kind of pile. You got to organize this stuff, because when you just take everything as the truth, you get to this point and you're like, wait a minute, if all of this stuff is true, then how come it doesn't fit together correctly? And now you're lost in the sauce because you didn't categorize shit correctly. And so, like, from this point out, when I see shit and they're like, oh, but what really happened? I'm like, oh, okay. I got like this grain of salt kind of perspective on it. I watch it, and if it seems probable, okay, cool. We'll talk about that. But if not, I'm like, this is why I don't think that's true, you know? And that's just how I'm doing things. You got to keep everything at an arm distance, especially right now. We knew for years leading up to this year, they would be lying, crying, cheating, stealing, doing it all. The propaganda would be big, the psyop would be big, and the steal would be big. And that's why we got to vote out there November 5th, make it too big to rig. You know, that's what we got to do. And so we knew this was coming. I'm just saying we got to cool our jets a little bit, step back, and look at this information they're trying to provide us. And instead of trying to analyze it, ask yourself why. Why are they even giving us the information? Why, like, how does this make sense in the grand scheme of things? It don't. Like I said, it doesn't matter. These details don't matter because they don't even make sense. And so anyways, just wanted to cover that and give my little perspective on there. We're going to move forward. We got lots of good stuff. Lots of good stuff. Got lots of highlights and stuff from the RNC. We still got quite a bit of stuff to cover. Now, before we get into this next one, I want to remind you guys, if you would like to join the membership program over on Rumble, all you have to do is click that big red subscribe button right below where you type in the chat. Now, if you're on Android and you're using the Rumble app, you're unable to see that big red subscribe button. So go to rumble.com, come to the live, hop in the chat, and like I said, right below where you type in the chat, you'll see that big red subscribe button. Click that button and jump through the hoops, and your name will be highlighted as an official Rumble hooligan. You'll have access to our custom emojis. We have chapstick emojis, screaming goat emojis, Klaus Daniels emojis, President Trump emojis, and more. It's a lot of fun during the live, especially during a Trump live. So definitely go join the membership program over on Rumble. We will be covering President Trump Saturday, sometime around 5 p.m. Eastern time, I believe it is. He's going to be here in Michigan, over in Grand Rapids. Miss Jamie is going to be there. She won a VIP set of tickets. So we'll have hooligans in the house, which is really awesome. It's going to be a good time. So definitely join the membership program over on Rumble so you'll have access to those emojis. Let me see. Yes, Laura Loomer. I don't know why I can't talk. My brain is fried. But either way, this is good stuff. I like people calling out these fakers. Yesterday we had Matt Gaetz going at Speaker McCarthy. He was saying, like, hey, you take that stage, you'd get booed off. You take that stage right now, they'd boo you out of here. He's telling him right to his face. I love it. And this is a lot more of that. This is Laura Loomer, loomering Jake Tapper. If I could talk, I'm going to get some chicken bacon after this. But anyways, she's going after Jake Tapper, and it's good shit. Let's get it. And don't forget, hit that like button over on Rumble.
Have some courage for once. Apologize for all of your fake news at CNN that has led to this attempted assassination of President Trump, Jake. Shameful behavior from CNN. You guys have blood on your hands. You have blood on your hands, Jake. When are you going to apologize to the American people for lying about President Trump for years? When are you going to call out Joe Biden for saying that it's time to put President Trump in a bullseye? Come on, you're always talking so much shit.
No, I wish the video wouldn't have ended because Laura sounded like she was going off. She's like, hold up, y'all always talking all that shit. Yeah, you ain't wrong. You ain't wrong. I love that stuff. And like I said, they were all, not just Laura, but there was a bunch of conservative journalists out there that really wanted to get a hold of MSNBC. Big time wanted to get a hold of MSNBC. And they want to confront them because they're telling lies. They're just as bad as Alex Jones. In a sense of the Sandy Hook trial they made Alex Jones go to, where they're telling him he's got to pay billions of dollars and because of damages of him saying that, the Sandy Hook shooting was fraudulent or whatever. Well, Joy Reid's out there saying the same exact thing about President Trump. She's saying that President Trump staged the shooting and that he was not actually hit by a bullet and that it's all fake. And it's like, okay, well, take her bitch ass to court then. Like, that's what should happen. She should be strung out for that. And those journalists want to get at her. Not in a violent way, but you know what I mean, in a political way. They want to get at her. And, not just Joy Reid, but Jen Psaki, all of them on MSNBC. And then they found out it's all fake. They weren't actually at the RNC. So anyways, let me see if that's not what we have next. Next up, we have reasons to be mad at Joy Behar. It says Christian girl Joy Behar, or however you say her name, suggests that President Trump claiming God saved him during the assassination attempt is him being a narcissist. Then after that, we're going to be covering MSNBC being outed for faking being at the RNC, which they were not. They were pretending that they were, but they weren't. They're a bunch of liars. So anyways, we're going to read through the chat really quick. See what you hooligans think about Laura Loomer. And we'll get on to Joy Behar. Sound like an idiot. Sounding like an idiot. Russell, a 55-gallon drum of ass whooping. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Here, Juicer, you got an ice cream place called Whitey's? That's something. That's something. Man, we've come a long way. Yes. Praised by you, Joy Behar is evil. She's also going to rot in hell. Yeah, real cynical woman. Matt watched a video of Asget Industries on ScrewTube. Illustration of attempted assassination of President Trump. Very good digital recreation of the shots. Interesting. Matt, I will definitely check that out. I've seen a few of the 3D models they've tried to make depicting President Trump turning his head, and if he wouldn't have turned in that moment, things would be different. What's up, Guess MJ? Happy freedom to you. Crack me up. Breeze by you, Joy Reid is the worst. She can rot. Yeah. Sam, she's such a badass. Yeah, Laura Loomer. She's a little obnoxious, a little bit, but she's definitely a go-getter. She is motivated. RK, Laura Loomer is definitely a hooligan. Yeah, she is hooligan material for sure. Hair juicer smoked him. Yeah, he didn't even say anything. He just had to look at his phone because he knew that she's right. She is right. RK, Kermit the Frog is sexier than Hyena Harris. Yep, sure is. Every time I think of Kermit the Frog, though, I think of his reaction to 2 Chicks, 1 Cup. That's all I think. That's all I think about. That image of Kermit reacting to the video and his dog. The dog was into it, but Kermit was not until the end. But anyways, those are the only YouTube videos that were worth watching, and they probably don't even have that up anymore. Sam, the Simpsons answers are generally the correct one. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see how it goes because they predicted President Trump getting taken out, and that didn't happen. It's hard to say. RK, the only polls Harris uses is in a strip club. You ain't wrong. I should have pulled that video that they got of Old Man Walter where he was leaning into this woman like he was going to kiss her. And Jill and Harris's husband come running from the left side of the screen to come pull Joe away from this woman because he's off his rocker. Pumpkin Kermit is cute though, so there is that. Yeah, I can't say that about Hyena Harris. No. Ghostly, have you seen Kermit the Omegala and Flash the Chicks? Yeah. Yeah, I have seen that. That's naughty Kermit. Alistair, I don't think I can say that out loud. That's quite the barbecue chicken place, though. I think if I say that out loud, everybody's going to be all mad. Well, not that everybody's going to be mad, but the platforms probably would not like that. Laura Q, he got loomered. Yep, he did. And he didn't even put his hands up or anything. Just took it straight to the face. Mary Todd, I'm glad that people like Laura did that. Yeah, because we need to stop being fake. You know, we got to get rid of this political correct nonsense. Stop being fake to each other. It's hard to have real, genuine joy when you spend the whole time being fake. And even if you get people to like you, they don't even like the real you. They like the fake you. And then that makes you feel worse about yourself. And it's like the fakeness needs to stop. And part of that is calling it out. And that's what Laura was doing. It's like, you know, you guys are fake and it's causing problems. And you should do something about that. And Tapper's just wanting to get home to his boyfriend. Pumpkin, it's all to increase the chaos and distract us from the truth. Yep. I believe so. Oh, what is going on? Problems. I don't know. Why can't we get along? I don't get that. Geo, yeah, you saw the video I was talking about? Yes. What's up, John? Happy Freedom. Appreciate you being here with us. Tom Star, love Laura Loomer. Yeah. She's pretty cool. I've just seen her do interesting stuff on Twitter. She'll like post something and then someone else will post the same thing, but then she'll go over there and like ride that person's ass about sharing the same content. And it's like, this is the internet. This is what happens on the internet. Like, to go after everybody that reposts your shit and get in their comments and demand credibility and demand, like, you know, you need to do this and you need to do that and you got to do this and you got to do... You put it on the internet. People are going to take it and do whatever they want. You can't... I mean, you can, but it ain't helping you to go from post to post and berate everybody that doesn't do exactly what you want the way you do it. And I've seen her do that a lot. Not recently, But a month or so ago, I seen her just so much stuff, and it's like, don't do that. Like, don't put it on the internet if you don't want people to take it. It's the internet, you know. It's like throwing shit in the wind. Whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen. And so to chase people down and be, you know, obnoxious like that, I was like, you shouldn't do that. Everybody knows who you are, and if you share the shit and other people share, people know that you're the one, you're the source. You don't have to go and, you know, go after people like this. It doesn't look good, but it's just my opinion. I think she's still a badass. So anyways, we're going to get into this. This is going to piss everybody off, and it's not at me, thank God, but it's titled Christian Girl, in quotes. Joy Behar suggested Trump claiming God saved him during the assassination attempt is narcissistic. He's just a big old narcissist. He's just, oh, God saved you, did he? Huh? What's special about you? I was saying yesterday about how the Democrats hate seeing happy people. They hate people loving each other. They hate people being united. And President Trump claims that God interfered with the assassination attempt, with the plan. And that has these people pissed. Because people love God, and people love being loved by God. And these evildoers who have turned away from God and hardened their heart so they can't hear from the Lord anymore, well, they're just sitting here toxic and mad about people who can still hear from the Lord. So anyways, let's get into this. Once again, this is, if I can find the title, Christian Girl Joy Behar suggests that Trump claiming God saved him during the assassination attempt is him being narcissistic.
I want to point out one thing. I'm speaking to fellow Christians. I was raised Catholic. I'm a Christian girl. When something like this happens to you, like this assassination attempt, and you say something like God was watching me, that is a very unchristian thing to say, because it's very narcissistic. What about Corey? What's his name? Confronts, the fireman who also got killed.
I don't know. I think some Christians.
What about all those guys who got killed on Sandy Hook? All of those people. Yeah. It's like, oh, God was watching me and not watching them. There's something very disturbing.
God should have pulled the plug on that mic yesterday.
Wait, God is the technician now? Yes. He'll be right back.
You needed one.
I want to point out.
I don't even know what to say about that. You know, like, toxic people. Just mad. Just mad. President Trump has changed since what happened on Saturday. To me, he feels a lot more calm, but more certain than ever on what needs to happen for the future in order for things to go in a better direction so we can all live in a better country. And for him to go out there and speak about God has these people so bent out of shape. So bent out of shape. They don't have a God that they pray to. And whoever they pray to is not capital G God. And so they're mad. And that's what's going to happen. You know, that's the effect the love of the Lord has. As you have a relationship with God, you talk about God, you are openly being saw as a person being loved by God. And the people who turn away from God and have hardened their hearts from God, they don't know what that's like. So when they see you walking in that light, they take that as a personal attack. That's you telling them that they are worth less. They are a low quality human, even though you're not saying anything, you know? Yeah, Snooks, it's fine. And so that's what's going on with these people. They're obviously separated from God, and they see President Trump, who's recovering from what happened last weekend, and to say, well, you know, God interfered. He saved me. And they're like, well, what about everybody else? What about this? Like, mad. So mad, because they wish the Saturday went different. That's what it really is. They wish that Saturday went differently. That's all right. Next up, we have MSNBC being called out for being liars. It's titled Joy Reid, Jen Balsacki, and other MSNBC hosts outed for using fake LED screen and pretending to be at the RNC. It's coming up next, but first we're going to read through the chat. And before we do that, I want to remind you guys, if you would like to support the live to keep us running, you're welcome to use the Linktree link. You can find that in the description, or maybe Snooks will post it in the chat for you. Using the Linktree link, you are welcome to make donations. You can use PayPal, Cash App, Stripe, Locals, Buy Me a Coffee, or you can even send crypto. We're going to read through the chat really quick, and we're going to get on to MSNBC being outed for lying and pretending that they were at the RNC when they were not. Zero, that's why I'm smiling so much. He loves me and I want to share my joy. Yep, absolutely. Russell, the hand of God saved Trump. Yep. I mean, it's a miracle. What happened was a miracle. Breeze by you, they have no idea what they would have thought if Saturday went differently. Oh, they'd be celebrating. You know, just the way they are, they'd be celebrating. They'd find ways to joke about it and laugh. And they'd probably do skits. They'd be celebrating it. Matt, she's an evil bitch. Yeah. To be mad about someone talking about God. Like, disgusting. Guess some Jay Lucifer interfered with Joy's face. I'm saying. Yep. Just reading through. What's up, D-Cat? Happy freedom. Proud American, that would have been more traumatic to watch than the tower is falling. Yeah. It's true. That would have been, man, I would have been banned. I'd have been banned like across the board. They probably would have banned my accounts across the board if Saturday went different. Not that that matters, but yeah. Life would be very much different right now if Saturday went differently. Ghostly, I pray that people see Trump walking the narrow path and follow his footsteps. Yeah, I agree. Alistair, goodness, I can't stand when people claim to be Christians and use being Catholic as their green card. Yeah, the whole thing is a mess. And that mentality that Joy was just putting off right there is why there isn't more people having a relationship with God. Is because people use phrases like being a Christian or a Catholic to enforce their own little private dictatorship that they're running, and they affect young people that way. And young people are like, oh, so you get to mistreat me because you're a Christian or because you're a Catholic? You get to talk down to me and treat me like I'm worth less than you are? Well, fuck you and all your religion. And then they never want to hear anything related to God because of that. There's more religious people that have turned people away from God than anyone else. And it's because of that. And somebody actually there's a phrase for it. And someone said it to me. I met a guy, and I told you guys about that. I was walking outside of Walmart, and someone saw me, and he was looking at me kind of weird, and he was reaching in the back of his car. And I thought we were about to have conflict right there in the parking lot. So I went to my car where my firearm is so I can be safe and all of that. And he came out and he pulled out a pamphlet that had to, was talking about God and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, because if it could have went differently, he'd have pulled something else out of the back of that car. We'd have had a different interaction. But I realized he was trying to talk to me about God, and he thought I needed to be saved and all this stuff. And so we had a really good conversation about God, and I had brought that up because he said that he was really thankful that I was willing to receive the message, because there's so many people that won't let him get 2 or 3 words out, and they push him away or they turn him away, and they're like, no, I don't want to hear about your God. And he's like, I can't reach people because no one wants to hear about God. And I'm like, no one wants to hear about religion. They don't want to hear about religion. People don't have a problem with God. God loves all of us. We are his favorite. And there's no need to have a problem. The problem is religion. Being religious is what pushes people away from God. Having a relationship with God is no different than having a relationship with your cat or whatever. It's up to you to have the relationship. It's up to you. Most of these people call themselves Christians and Catholics. They only talk to God when they got problems. I tell God jokes. I tell God dirty jokes because he can handle it. He's God. Like, people act like God is like some little porcelain chicken or some shit. That's not how it works. He's God. He's seen it all. He made it all. And people are goofy about their relationship with God. I can't swear and I can't do this. It's your heart. God speaks to your heart. The intentions of your heart decide who you are. not your fucking words and stupid shit. And people get caught up in that, and they condemn each other over it. They control each other over it. And religion has pushed more people away from God than anything else, than Lucifer or anybody else. So when people speak like, oh, well, I'm a Christian woman and I'm talking to the Christians now, that turns everybody off. Everyone's like, oh, I don't want to hear that shit. Shut the fuck up with that, because you're playing Clubhouse. That's what it is. It's a big-ass club, and you want to say who isn't invited. You want to dictate who gets to go to heaven and who don't. It ain't up to you. And that's why religion sucks. Religion sucks. Having a relationship with God is one of the best things you can do, in my opinion. But religion sucks. And I told that guy who was trying to reach out to me and talk to me about God, I was like, tell people that. Tell people you got a relationship with God, but you're not religious. And they're going to want to hear more, because people want a relationship with God. They just don't want the religion. The religion is bullshit, because it's labels. We're back to the Democrat kind of shit. Labels. You paint something nasty up and give it a pretty label, people still don't want to play with it. It doesn't matter how nice the label is you put on it. Once they realize it's a nasty thing, like calling abortion healthcare, fuck you, YouTube, you give me a strike over that. That's what they do. They put nice little labels on bad things. Religion seems to be a bad thing in my experience, but having a relationship with God, it's one of the best things you can do, in my opinion. Anyways, let me get off my little soapbox here. Resistance. Jeff tells God when he flips his chapstick. I do. I'm telling you, some of the jokes that I tell God would make you guys blush. Because God can handle it. God can handle it, you know? DCAT, yeah, them holy rollers. Yeah, it's true. They push people away from God. Let's read through and we'll get on to this next one. I know today's a weird day. I'm trying my hardest. What's up, True Crazy? Happy Freedom. Dropping the boobies in the chat. Garlic Press, happy freedom to you. Garlic Press on Twitch, you're omnipresent, you're awesome. Says, even Satan quit campaigning for Biden. I know. That's how you know it's bad. It's so bad even Lucifer won't touch it. Shenanigans, what does that mean? You even posted that on like 15 of my videos. What does that mean? Tom Star, people want to tell you that you don't have a relationship with God if you don't go to church. Yeah, because that's their clubhouse. That's why those churches, that's their clubhouse. And they get to say whether or not you get to go there. You know, it's like, that's silly. It's silly. Not condemning people who do that. We're just going to let them be to themselves. You know, that's it. They'll have to talk to God just like we all will when we go. And they'll have that conversation, and I'm not going to worry about it. You know, where two or more believers are present, so is God. We are the church. We are the church. But let them play clubhouse. RK, saw two younger people next to me at the bar talking about God. It's awesome, RK. Heck yeah. Anyways, before I chase any more of you guys out of here, I think 200 people unsubscribed from me on Rumble, by the way. Like, I must really be just tearing things up around here over the last week. I can't believe that I made 200 people leave. So I don't know if I misread that shit or what, but maybe I should be less honest. Anyways, getting into MSNBC being liars. I know that's not breaking news. Joy Reid, Jen Balsacki, and other MSNBC hosts have been outed for using fake LED screen and pretending to be at the RNC. Now, we might have to watch this a couple times. It's a little messy. We'll make the best of this. By the time you guys walk away, you'll understand what happened. It's like a compilation. So you can see we got two videos here. The woman at the bottom there, which I don't think you guys can hear it. Okay. She was actually really excited to go confront these people. The things they were saying and all of that. And she's the one that found out that they're not even there. Their area where they're supposed to be is just a camera sitting there pointed at the crowd. Pointed at the whole arena. And then at the top there, you can see the MSNBC studio. And in the background, it's probably hard to tell, but in the background is showing the RNC. And it's put together So it looks like that's where they are. And I think they even mention being there live, like straight lying. And they're getting called out for it. The news has been broke. So anyways, we're going to get through this. It's kind of messy, but we're going to get it figured out. So I don't have exactly a strategy laid out, but we'll get through the first video. If we can't figure it out, we'll play the second video where the woman is speaking. We might play it anyway. She's kind of pretty, right? So anyways, let's get into this.
Since anyone can remember, since George Wallace, I think.
First of all,
and you're actually here live.
We are here live, as opposed to some other networks that just have a big LED. Who shall remain nameless?
Okay, so that may have been kind of confusing. I know I was confused when I first watched it. Like I said, I've watched this like 16 times. So this is the studio that they were portraying to the public. This is what MSNBC has looked like for the last 4 days. And as I said in the background, it looks like they are at the RNC. I'm going to let the video play a little bit, because I watched quite a bit of stuff to figure this out. So what we're looking at now is the space where the MSNBC is supposed to be at, but they're not. It's just the camera sitting there. So that's what all this is right here. This is their slot where that studio supposedly would be sitting, and it's not. It's just this camera pointed into the room. That's what all this footage is. This is where the studio is pretending to be, but it's not. And then CNN, that little clip right there where the guy's like, oh, you guys are actually here. You're not just pretending. It was CNN talking shit about MSNBC about lying. They knew they were lying, and they were joking about it without calling them out. Because CNN's they're not truthers, right? They're liars. They're some of the worst liars that, people got to deal with in politics. And so that's the reality of the situation. They were caught lying. So we're just going to go ahead and play this video down here with this nice young lady. We'll read her caption so maybe we can figure out who she is. Savannah Hernandez says, let me make sure this is muted. Just found out that Joy Reid, Jen Balsacki, and Rachel Maddow, whatever her name is, of MSNBC aren't actually doing their live reporting from the RNC. They're actually sitting in front of an LED screen, which is why I haven't been able to find them all week. They're not even at the event.
Now, behind me...
A little less than 2 minutes. There you guys go. Yes, go get your screenshots. Use this for later. Okay, anyways. We'll just go ahead and listen to her. She's one of the reporters that I was talking about that was interested in confronting these people with their lies and their bullshit. And while in the pursuit of that, she found out there was even more lies and bullshit. They're not even really there. So let's hear her account of how this is going.
All right, y'all, this is Savannah Hernandez reporting to you on day 4 of the RNC from the floor. Now, you guys know that I've been confronting members of the media all week, and you might have asked, hey, Sav, how come you haven't confronted Jen Psaki, Joy Reid, or Rachel Maddow of MSNBC? They've been doing live coverage all week. Well, it's because I found out they're actually sitting in front of an LED screen. Now, behind me is the NBC booth where I'm sure they're taking that live feed from, and this is actually the shot that has been behind them. And I've been trying to find their booth all week. I've been trying to, figure out coverage-wise how I could figure out when their shows end, and I couldn't find them, and this is why. They aren't actually here at the event. The live coverage that they're doing is not from the conference, and it's actually kind of fake if we're being honest here. So just wanted to give you an update as to why there won't unfortunately be a confrontation in which I'm able to ask Joy Reid, hey, you have been pushing conspiracy theories all week that former President Donald Trump actually wasn't shot. What's your response to that? Would you like to correct the record? Unfortunately, I won't be able to ask former Press Secretary Jen Psaki about why she had to recently make a retraction to her book because she lied to the American public and tried to say that Joe Biden didn't look at his watch during the ceremony for the 13 slain troops that were brought back home from Afghanistan. That won't be happening because MSNBC's show is not actually being held here live at the RNC. Just wanted to give you guys an update on that from the floor of day 4 of the RNC. as we are all set to listen to Donald Trump speak for the first time tonight after that Saturday assassination attempt.
All right. Well, that was Savannah Hernandez. Like I said, she was trying to get at those people at MSNBC, and they weren't even there. They weren't even there. They were lying about being there. Stupid. Those people are stupid for lying about that. I don't think you'll see Fox or Newsmax or any of those people at the DNC are not there, but pretending to be there. I don't think we'll see that, but who knows? Who knows? When the DNC happens, we'll figure that all out. I'm sure we'll get some entertaining stuff, probably some really cringy stuff, knowing Democrats, but either way. Next up, we're going to get into our highlights from the RNC. This is all good stuff. We'll be starting off with Tucker Carlson's full speech at the 2024 Republican National Convention that Tucker Carlson did awesome, and then turned around and posted the whole speech on Tucker Carlson Network, I think it's called, the TCN. And so I grabbed that up. We're going to be covering that next. But first, we're going to read through the chat and see what you hooligans think about Savannah Hernandez. I just followed her, by the way, since you guys said that she's such a badass. I figure she's worth following. I'll keep up to date with her and see what else she gets into. Zero, they think we're stupid. Yeah. Well, at this point, I think they don't care, but they're going to realize that they should care. They should care. We give them power. We give them power. Like I've been saying about, liberals and dumb people in general all week. I've been saying it all week. Because a lot of people feel strongly about this. They're like, liberals are a cancer on our society and we should do something about it. And it's like, well, we need to just take their power away. We don't have to do anything to them. It's a free country. You can be as soft and stupid as you want to. It's part of being free. It's not my choice, but, they're free to do that. I know the difference between right and wrong. I just don't want to go out there and govern every single person who can't seem to make decisions. I will govern them if they cross paths with me. But if they want to be soft and stupid over there, I'm going to let them do that. They can go do that shit over there. We need to stop enabling them. Stop making them the captain of the police force. Stop making them the VP. Stop making, you know what I mean? Stop putting these idiots in positions of power. Stop making them the authority of another human being because they can't control themselves. So stop putting them in control of other people, and that's how we fix things. You don't have to do bad things to these dumb people. Just stop enabling them. And it's not us. That's the thing. We got to pay attention and vote accordingly, and base our decisions off right and wrong, not who your favorite is and goofy shit like that. Because that's where the corruption comes in. You got people who qualify for shit, and you got people who are just your buddy. And when you choose your buddy over people that qualify, that is corruption. And that's how it starts. That's exactly how it starts. And next thing you know, the whole room is full of people that are your buddies, and nobody's qualified to do their job. And then things run like this, and everybody wonders why. And it's because of corruption. It is absolutely because of corruption. Guess I'm Jay. Stop making them Secret Service for real. For real. That's a great example. Breeze by you. Rule number 1, have a brain. See, and it's quite the first step. You might be asking for too much. Breeze by you, Sarah's a badass. I'm seeing that. Breeze by you, like no one would find out they weren't really there. Yeah, they were banking on it. What you got here, Juicer? Hooking the pooches up? Blueberry cheesecake shake. Holy, that sounds good. Guess some. You weren't wasting that opportunity. It's such a good shot too. Look at that. Just bam. Got such a good one. Right on the money. Look at these happy dogs. I didn't even know dogs could eat ice cream. I didn't even know. Look at them. So excited. They're like, yeah. The one is dialed in. The one on the right there is dialed in. Like, no sudden movements with my ice cream. Hair juicer. There's some happy dogs. They look like some good dogs. I'm going to get a soundbite of those huskies howling. Hair juicer's going to have to keep his hand on the volume button. I'll just hit the button real quick. Sound the alarm. Do the roll call. Mm-hmm. Just reading through. Guess when you feel the presence and receive the blessing, you will know. Absolutely. Absolutely. When you engage with God, you know it. Breeze by you poor Sarah. She'll be fine. She'll be fine. We're getting her new fans right now. Look at that old face. Everyone's going to be following her on Twitter for the wrong reasons, but that's okay. That's okay. She's like, look, guys, stop telling me I'm pretty. I'm trying to do the news. It's like, yeah. Thank you so much, Alistair, for the $10 donation over on Rumble. I really appreciate you, Alistair. Thank you so much. It says 25 likes to 100. Jeff's awesome. Be like Jeff and be awesome. Hit that like button on Rumble. It's free. You're so awesome, Alistair. Thank you. Goodness, too old to care. Matthew's like, she's pretty. Too old to care is like, nice mouth. Holy. Prison rules. Yeah, she's not going to be able to be invited on the show. I can already tell that. Could you imagine the chat if we had people interviewed on here? I don't work well with people, which is why we don't interview individuals, but if we did, I could only imagine what the chat would look like. What's up, Base Lady? Happy Freedom. What's up, Tony Reyes? Happy Freedom to you. Jeffro Savannah Hernandez is her name. She's an independent journalist. Yep, she's awesome. I'm probably gonna deep dive. Phrasing, like SMJ says. Phrasing. Yeah, I'm gonna deep dive her. All right. Anyways, I'll be looking into all of her stuff after the live. I'll be checking out her Twitter and stuff. Because yeah, I haven't really heard of her until this little thing happened. Josh, speaking of dogs, has Biden's dog bit anyone recently? I think the dog's not at the White House anymore. I think they took the dogs away. Nobody was taking care of them. Last I covered, the dog had been relocated. It was at a family member's house or something, and I haven't heard anything about Secret Service being bit or anything like that since. So as far as I know, the dog's not there anymore, but I might be wrong. I might be wrong on that. Thank you so much, Snooks, for the $25 donation on Rumble. I really appreciate everything you do for all of us, Snooks. Thank you so much. It says, you are the best. Respect your truth, Jeff. Thank you, Snooks. Ghostly, I'm sure we would be on our best behavior. Yeah. She'd be reading the chat. She'd be like, why do they keep telling me to dunk the clam? What does that mean? I'd be like, never mind. Never mind. What's that clam jamming about? Don't you worry about that. Don't you worry about that. She's like, they keep asking for feet pics. Like, yeah, just ignore them. It'll be fine. Tom Star, I wouldn't mind deep diving either. As soon as I said it, I was like, damn it. I blew it. Shouldn't have said it like that. Status quo, but we're angels. Yeah, just some angels named Hooligan. Yes. You guys crack me up, my goodness. No, see, the thing is I saw how you guys treat Corinne. Okay? Corinne has been in the chat before, and you guys shamelessly are like, you're a tard, blah, 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 blah. Like, just right to her, just telling her that you think she's stupid, or that she has a porn star voice and all this other stuff. No. We had Laura Loomer on here, or somebody like that. You guys would be making them blush. I already know. I'd be all just sitting here like a disappointed father. Good stuff. I love it. Here, Juicer, they both howled when you said I don't want to say it again. When I said the phrase, the dogs were howling, sounding the alarm. That is funny, Hair Juicer. There's some good dogs. All right, let's get on. We got Tucker Carlson's full speech at the 2024 Republican National Convention. I thought he did fantastic. I like Tucker Carlson. His giggling makes me laugh. Like, I don't even know how to explain it. Tucker Carlson's giggling is just funny. In itself, it's funny. It reminds me of, like, children. Like, genuine happiness. Like, the sound of joy. And I mean, maybe that sounds ridiculous, but when Tucker Carlson giggles, it feels so authentic to me, like real happiness. And it just, I don't know, it cracks me up. But I thought his speech was great, and that's why we're going to cover it. It is a little lengthy, so you'll have time to get coffee or take a little pee break or something if you got to do that. It is a little lengthy of a video, but it's a good one. And so we're getting right into it. Let me see. I think we're good to go. Don't forget, hit that like button over on Rumble.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome journalist, author, and American citizen, Tucker Carlson.
So fun! Thank you! Oh, this is wild. Thank you! I've been... Good to see you. Thank you. I feel like I know about half the people in the room. This is wild. What are you doing? Justin Wells. Thank you, guys. Okay. Can I just say, Peter Navarro is back. Welcome to Peter Navarro. Suffering the fate that has happened to so many who are friends with Donald Trump. Thank you for having me. I have been to many conventions. I have never been to a more fun convention or a convention with better vibes. They literally let Navarro out of prison. First of all, thank you. This feels a lot different from what I thought it was going to feel like. I can't hear you, but I know it's something good. So I watched the video of what happened in Butler, Pennsylvania about 50 times. I think I was one of about 8 billion people around the world who watched it. And the more I watched it, the more it struck me that everything was different after that moment. Everything. And this convention is different. The nation is different. The world is different. Donald Trump is different. When he stood up after being shot in the face, bloodied, and put his hand up, I thought at that moment, that was a transformation. This was no longer a man. Well, I think it was divine intervention. But the effect that it had on Donald Trump, he was no longer just a political party's nominee or a former president or a future president. This was the leader of a nation. And I think there's a difference. I've spent most of my life in Washington where the president is at the top of the pyramid, everyone wants to be the president. But if you think about it, the presidency comes with great power, obviously. But if you think about it, that is a title that is bestowed by a process of some sort that can be subverted. And in the end, it does not confer by itself, as no title does, legitimacy. Just because you call yourself the president doesn't mean that much inherently. I can call my dog the CEO of Hewlett-Packard. It doesn't mean she is. No, it's true. And you hate to say it, but it is also true, is a fact, that you could take, a mannequin, a dead person, and make him president. No, you could. I'm just saying theoretically possible. With enough cheating, that could happen. But being a leader is very different. It's not a title. It's organic. You can't name someone a leader. A leader is the bravest man. That's who the leader is. That is true in all human organizations. This is a law of nature. And in that moment, Donald Trump, months before the presidential election, became the leader of this nation. That was the most obvious to me. And I have to say, I think it changed him. He reached out to Trump within hours of it that night. And what he said to me that night, having just been shot in the face, he said not a single word about himself. He said only how amazed he was and how proud he was of the crowd, which didn't run. And I thought two things. The first thing I thought was, well, of course they didn't run. His courage gave them heart. A leader's courage gives courage to his people. And the second thing I thought was, this is the selfish guy I've been hearing about for 9 years? Really? Not a word about himself? About his people, period. And the second thing I noticed, which I don't think anyone has remarked upon in public, but I'm just going to since I don't have a script, like why not, is that he turned down the most obvious opportunity in politics to inflame the nation after being shot. To inflame the nation, which is an opportunity that almost every other politician I've ever met, and certainly his opponents, would have taken instantly. And they would have said, well, what is this? How did he get shot? Like, how did this happen? And those are real questions that we have to get to the bottom of. But in the moments, the days, the week after the shooting, he did not say that. He did his best to bring the country together, and I thought, this is the divisive figure, this is the irresponsible person. No. This is the most responsible, unifying behavior of a leader I think I've ever seen. So the question is, where is he leading us? And I could go on for hours, but let me just sum it up. I do think the entire point from the famous escalator ride 9 years ago until today of Donald Trump's public life has been to remind us of one fact, which is a leader's duty is to his people, to his country, and to no other. That's the point. That's the only point. And another word for this is democracy. Democracy, in case you're a little sick of being beaten in the face with democracy on television, actual democracy is the proposition that the citizens of a country own that country. They're not renters, they're not serfs, they're not slaves, they are the owners of the country. And for that to be true, their leaders have to represent them, which is another way of saying they have to do what the people want them to do, or a close approximation thereof. But if they completely ignore what people want, not just 1 year, but generationally, say for 50 years, then it may be, I don't know what, it's not a democracy. And so I think the entire Trump project, paradoxically, is attacked as an enemy of democracy, is to return democracy to the United States. Hey, let's pay attention to what people actually want. And the lack of interest in that question in Washington is something that ultimately drove me out of the city after 35 years. Lawmakers stepping over the prostrate bodies of their fellow citizens ODing on drugs to go cast votes to send money to some foreign country. Yeah, actually, we've lost more Americans from drugs in the past 4 years than we lost in World War II. Yeah, our bloodiest war. More than we lost in World War II. Does anybody care? It is pathetic. It is pathetic. And do you hear a single word from Washington about doing anything about it? We know where the drugs are coming from. We know the supply routes. The U.S. military spent billions bombing the Ho Chi Minh Trail. You don't see our commander-in-chief suggesting that we use our military to protect our country or the lives of its citizens. No. That's for Ukraine. And it's too much, actually. It's too insulting. It's too insulting. It's a middle finger in the face of every American. It's a very clear statement, which is unmistakable. And that is, we don't care about you. And Donald Trump, whatever you say about him, and I think he's a wonderful person. I know him well. By the way, the funniest person I've ever met in my life, actually. You can't be funny without perspective or without empathy, which is true. But everything else about Trump aside, he actually cares because he's interested in the people who live here because that's his job. A father's job, his duty is to his family. An officer's duty is to his men. A president's duty is to his citizens. And he seems to be the only one who thinks that. And in his choice for vice president, J.D. Vance, he's made that really clear. J.D. Vance, I'll say this about him, is a thoroughly decent man, and I'll just admit it, a friend of mine, one of the very few politicians in Washington who actually is very close to his own wife, which is wonderful to see. And she's wonderful, actually. But J.D. Vance has views that are closer to Trump's voters than anyone else in Washington in office. Therefore, he's the vice president. That's called democracy. So I will stop on just one point, and that is what's happened over the past month since the debate. And particularly on Saturday in Butler, I think a lot of people are wondering, what is this? This doesn't look like politics. Something bigger is going on here. I think even people who don't believe in God are beginning to think, well, maybe there's something to this. Actually. And I'm starting to think it's going to be okay, actually. I do think that. In the day after the midterm elections in 2018, Antifa came to my house. The Democratic Party's militia, okay? I was at work. It was obvious when I was at work because it was public. My wife was home alone. They tried to come in through the front door. They terrorized her. She hid in our pantry. It was on television. It was horrible, actually. It was, I'm not whining about it. I wasn't getting shot in the face, but it wrecked our day. And the next morning, we're lying in bed, and the phone rings for my wife, and it's Donald Trump, who's not like a regular text buddy of Donald Trump's. She picks it up. Hello? Susie, it's Donald Trump. And it's coming through. I could hear it. I'm lying in bed. Whoa. And the first thing he says is, I'm going to stand guard outside your house. And she goes, oh, it's so nice. And he says, I'll never forget this as long as I live. He says, there's a lot of hate out there. And she said, there is, Mr. President. And then he says, but there's a lot of love. There's a lot of love. And we are seeing that love. I don't think it's human love. And I'll just stop with this. I'm not always convinced that I'm on the right side. I've been on the wrong side many times. You'll never hear me say I'm on God's side, or God's with me, or even I'm with God. I want to be, not sure I am. But I will say this unequivocally and conclusively. God is among us right now. And I think that's enough. God bless you.
Well, that was Tucker Carlson from last night over at the RNC. Like I said, I thought he did awesome. I thought it was a great speech he put out there. And he's so funny. Tucker Carlson is so funny. His little giggle just cracks me up. It's so hard not to laugh when you hear his it's a giggle. I don't know what else to say. And it's weird because you kind of wouldn't expect him to laugh like that. But he's a giggler. I bet he's a lot of fun to smoke weed with. Anyways, we're going to read through the chat really quick and see what you hooligans think about Tucker Carlson's speech. Next up, we have President Trump speaking from last night. It says, I had God on my side. I'm not supposed to be here tonight. It's coming up next. Let me fix this really quick. We're going to read through the chat first. We still got 3 more videos, and then we have our feel-good video of the day, and then our funny video of the day coming up. We're going to read through the chat really quick, though. Breeze by you, he giggles a lot. Yeah, he does. 0. It's his infectious giggle. Yeah. I haven't met a lot of gigglers in my life, but his giggle just makes me laugh. It's just funny. It just sounds like genuine happiness to me. Guess I'm J1. Awesome Mother Tucker. That's right. That is right. Russell V. Voice chat at 6. We'll see. I might still be live. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I'd like to eat today. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Russell. We'll see how it goes. I forgot. Today is the voice chat, but it'll be hard to pull it off in 45 minutes. We'll see how it goes, though. Anyways, thank you so much, Guess MJ, for the $10 donation on Rumble. You're a badass, Guess MJ. Thank you. It says, in honor of KJP's fine ass. Well, maybe the ass is fine. The rest of it's not that great, though. I'll tell you that. Goodness. Thank you, Guess MJ. Just reading through. Ooh, what is your name? Amorian? Maybe? I don't believe Tucker had a teleprompter. It was all from the heart. Loved it. Yeah, I don't know. We're having to figure your name out. Amorian. I feel the same way. I don't know that any of them had a teleprompter, but I also didn't get to see the podium. They might have had a monitor directly in the podium, like a teleprompter right there, but not sure. Either way, it did feel heartfelt, like it was straight from the heart. I like Tucker Carlson. I thought he did a good job. Silver Wolf, off like a prom dress, hopping on a bike. Be safe out there, Silver Wolf. I appreciate you being here with us. Barb, I love him. Yeah, he's awesome. Ghostly, this speech made me like Tucker even more. Yeah, I thought it was a really good speech. Mary Todd, did you see Vance's wife give death or jealous stares when our first lady Melania came out? I didn't see that. I didn't notice that. Jeff Rowe, Tucker for press secretary would be fire. There's a lot of hooligans saying that. Yep, we would probably cover every press briefing. If it was Tucker Carlson, we would probably cover every single press briefing. Just insane. How do you know it's not a Zirquin? I don't even know what that is. Just saying. Pumpkin. Old Man Walter has oatmeal for brains. Yeah, pretty much. I haven't seen anything suggest otherwise. Ghostly, but have you heard of the water tower? Yes, I have, Ghostly. I have. I've heard of water towers before. I don't leave my house very much, but I know they're out there. Somewhere. Just waiting. Josh, is the reCAPTCHA fixed? I told you to go check it. I check it. You gotta check it. I fixed it right there when you told me. Like, I think I did. Sometimes it's a caching issue. And so I cleared the cache, and then I told you to go check it, and then I didn't hear anything else. It should be fine, though. Happy Freedom, Barb. Thank you for being here with us. Cash flow. Trump's rally on Saturday is in an arena, not outside. I figured it was going to be that way. Is it at the Van Andel? That's where I saw Snoop Dogg and Lazy Bone and all them. That's how I met Lazy Bone. Oh, brain. Grand Rapids. Trumpian. Trying to see. I bet it is at the Van Andel. Yep, it is. President Donald Trump is scheduled to host a rally in Grand Rapids, Michigan on Saturday. The event will take place at the Van Andel Arena in downtown Grand Rapids, with doors opening at 1 p.m. and the rally is starting at 5. Well, we will be covering that live. But yeah, the Van Andel is all indoors. And the parking sucks. Parking is shit at Van Andel. Zero. It works, Jeff. Had to find 10,000 bicycles today. Oh, thank you for letting me know, Zero. Breeze by you. Tucker loves his family and spends a lot of time with them and his wife. There's love in his family and it makes him a happy person. Hell yeah, Breeze by you. He seems like a happy person. Oh, J Spray at DeVos. No, it says it's at Van Andel. I just looked it up. I didn't even think about the other arena or the whatever, the other venue. That's what I was thinking of. What's up, Mandela? Happy Freedom. Yeah, Josh, just check in and let me know. Sometimes the captcha gets weird. I haven't said this out loud, but the reason that happens is because we have both captchas at the same time. So they have a version 2, which is where you select, the street light or the crosswalk. You got to pick all the pictures to get past the login. But then we also have version 3, which is invisible. It checks your IP address and it checks something else to make sure you're a person and not a hacker, not a bot. I shouldn't have said that. YouTube's watching now. I'm going to get fucking hit. The other day I had 72 hits on my accounts during the live, because the cyber criminals won't leave me alone. They haven't stopped. In April, it'll be 2 years that they've come after me pretty much every day. But there were 72 hits while I was live yesterday during Coffee with Hooligans. So anyways, that's why we have so much security on the website. So let me know, Josh, if it gets worked out. And I'll help you get in. I wish I knew what your name was. Let me think. We'll go with Rain until I figure it out. Rain, the Trump family is so beautiful. I was thinking that too. Trump has a huge family. They all came out on stage yesterday. Awesome. So awesome. They're all happy and stuff. Grey Wolf, you're having internet issues. Tom, I don't trust the Secret Service after Saturday. We just found out they weren't even Secret Service. They were newbies. They were newbies. What's up, Jessica? Happy freedom. John, Trump's a rock. He is. Trump's the man. He's the man. What's up, Ohio Kyle? Happy freedom. JD Vance putting Cincinnati back on the map. Same with Vivek. It's going to be quite the administration. We get the Trump administration going. When we go out there and vote November 5th, it is going to be so badass. We're going to have the best 4 years ever, and I can't wait. Can't wait. Thank you, Snooks, for verifying that. All right, let me see where we're at, Hooligans. So we're going to hear from President Trump. This is just a clip from last night's speech. All of this is RNC highlights because it was a really good night last night, and I don't know why half of you weren't with us. It was awesome. It was awesome. But either way, we're covering the highlights, and this is good stuff, too. So this is President Trump speaking. It's titled, "I had God on my side. I'm not supposed to be here tonight." Hopefully this is good to go. I had actually wrote it down but didn't go grab the link. So I had to grab the link during that last video, which means I didn't have a chance to actually watch it. But as far as I know, this is the video we're looking for. And once again, it is titled, "I had God on my side. I'm not supposed to be here tonight."
As you already know, the assassin's bullet came within a quarter of an inch of taking my life. So many people have asked me, what happened? Tell us what happened, please. And therefore, I will tell you exactly what happened. And you'll never hear it from me a second time because it's actually too painful to tell. It was a warm, beautiful day in the early evening in Butler Township in the great Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Music was loudly playing, and the campaign was doing really well. I went to the stage, and the crowd was cheering wildly. Everybody was happy. I began speaking very strongly, powerfully, and happily, because I was discussing the great job my administration did on immigration at the southern border. We were very proud of it. Behind me and to the right was a large screen that was displaying a chart of border crossings under my leadership. The numbers were absolutely amazing. In order to see the chart, I started to, like this, turn to my right and was ready to begin a little bit further turn, which I'm very lucky I didn't do, when I heard a loud whizzing sound and felt something hit me really, really hard on my right ear. I said to myself, wow, what was that? It can only be a bullet. And moved my right hand to my ear, brought it down. My hand was covered with blood, just absolutely blood all over the place. I immediately knew it was very serious, that we were under attack, and in one movement proceeded to drop to the ground. Bullets were continuing to fly as very brave Secret Service agents rushed to the stage, and they really did. They rushed to the stage. These are great people, at great risk, I will tell you, and pounced on top of me so that I would be protected. There was blood pouring everywhere, and yet, in a certain way, I felt very safe because I had God on my side. I felt that. The amazing thing is that prior to the shot, if I had not moved my head at that very last instant, the assassin's bullet would have perfectly hit its mark, and I would not be here tonight. We would not be together. The most incredible aspect of what took place on that terrible evening in the fading sun was actually seen later. In almost all cases, as you probably know, and when even a single bullet is fired, just a single bullet, and we had many bullets that were being fired, crowds run for the exits or stampede, but not in this case. It was very unusual. This massive crowd of tens of thousands of people stood by and didn't move an inch. In fact, many of them bravely, but automatically stood up looking for where the sniper would be. They knew immediately it was a sniper. And then began pointing at him. You can see that if you look at the group behind me. That was just a small group compared to what was in front. Nobody ran, and by not stampeding, many lives were saved. But that isn't the reason that they didn't move. The reason is that they knew I was in very serious trouble. They saw it. They saw me go down. They saw the blood and thought, actually most did, that I was dead. They knew it was a shot to the head. They saw the blood. And there's an interesting statistic. The ears are the bloodiest part. If something happens with the ears, they bleed more than any other part of the body. For whatever reason, the doctors told me that. I said, why is there so much blood? He said, it's the ears. They bleed more. So we learned something, but they just, this beautiful crowd, they didn't want to leave me. They knew I was in trouble. They didn't want to leave me. And you can see that love written all over their faces. Incredible people. They're incredible people. Bullets were flying over us, yet I felt serene. But now the Secret Service agents were putting themselves in peril. They were in very dangerous territory. Bullets were flying right over them, missing them by a very small amount of inches. And then it all stopped. Our Secret Service sniper, from a much greater distance and with only one bullet used, took the assassin's life, took him out. I'm not supposed to be here tonight. Not supposed to be here.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
Thank you. But I'm not. And I'll tell you, I stand before you in this arena only by the grace of Almighty God. In watching the reports over the last few days, many people say it was a providential moment. Probably was. When I rose, surrounded by Secret Service, the crowd was confused because they thought I was dead, and there was great, great sorrow. I could see that on their faces as I looked out. They didn't know I was looking out. They thought it was over. but I could see it, and I wanted to do something to let him know I was okay. I raised my right arm, looked at the thousands and thousands of people that were breathlessly waiting, and started shouting, "Fight, fight, fight." Thank you. Once my clenched fist went up, and it was high into the air. You've all seen that. The crowd realized I was okay and roared with pride for our country like no crowd I have ever heard before. Never heard anything like it.
Well, that was President Trump recalling what happened on Saturday. Crazy stuff. Let me see where we are here. We got just a couple more videos left, and we will be wrapping this up. Let me see where we are. Next up, we have this. The man is a comedian. You can't deny it. Russell Brand got this little clip here of President Trump. Very short clip. We might as well just get right into it, I guess, since it's President Trump. Just a quick one. It's 25 seconds. Russell Brand posted this. It's titled, "This man's a comedian and you can't deny it."
Last time I put up that chart, I never really got to look at it. But without that chart, I would not be here today. Never got to look at it.
Anyways, President Trump joking about being shot because he's in good spirits. Glad President Trump is okay. And it was a great live yesterday. It really was. We're going to read through the chat really quick and see what you hooligans think about President Trump's speech and being humorous and all of that. Next up, we have Hulk Hogan when they took a shot at my hero. It's coming up next. And then after that, we have our feel-good video of the day and our funny video of the day after that. But first, we're reading through the chat. Breeze by you, he is a funny guy. I like his attitude. I agree. It's like, he's the man. He's the man. Get shot and worried about everybody else knowing that he's okay. He could have just scrambled and got up out of there. That's what he's supposed to do, you know. But instead, he wanted to stand up and let us know that he's okay and that we're not getting soft over this. Like, we're going to fight. Russell, I've seen this like 3 times today. Every time I've had a tear in my eye. Yeah, Russell, I know all of this stuff makes me feel some type of way. I can't get all emotional when I'm on the live, but I am when I'm not. When I'm not on the live and I see these videos, I'm like, holy, such a crazy, it's just been a crazy week. All week, ever since Saturday, it's just been super crazy. Josh, I don't know. No, I don't know. I don't know what you want me to do, Josh. I don't know what you want me to do. Tell me what the right answer is if you know how to read code. Nobody else is having an issue. Yeah, Josh, I don't know why you're experiencing those issues. The only browser I know that has an issue with the website is Opera. And it's because we have certain plugins in place that specifically say they don't function with Opera, but anything else should totally function. I mean, no one's had problems signing in today, so the captcha can't be that broken. Weird. Trolls are so mad. Trolls are so mad that President Trump survived and that we're all happy about it. Crying hard. I've had to ban 2 gay kids today. I don't know if you can hear those kids outside screaming their face off. I think they're having a screaming competition. For real. I think that's what they're doing. That's why I got up just a second ago. I had to close the slider because they were like blowing their vocal cords out. I was like, holy. I mean, it's better than staring at an iPad, but goodness. Prop Patriot Girly. I cried when he talked last night. Yeah, it was awesome. Last night was so awesome. Shenanigans, an estimated 10K at Max attended. You're so wrong. You're so wrong. Like, that's so ass backwards. I love when people say that. People are like, oh, there was only 10,000 people there. You couldn't get 10 people to show up for you. Like, so I don't know. You know, it cracks me up. It cracks me up. Josh. Trump talks in the face of death and talks statistics. Yep. Or he stares in the face of death and talks statistics. That's how it goes. President Trump's the man. He's the man. So we're going to get right into this next one. This is Hulk Hogan when they took a shot at my hero. Now, like I said earlier, I'm not real impressed with seeing celebrities doing politics. I said all the time, when it's Biden's bullshit and he's got Jack Black up there, diddling himself and whatever. Not impressed with Hollywood or anybody like that being at these events. But I did see that a lot of people really dig this. A lot of people really like Hulk Hogan. I guess people are drinking his new beer. That's what the image is on his t-shirt. I didn't hear anybody mention that, by the way. I'm the only person I've heard mention that. But he's got new beer out. We did cover that. I don't remember what it's called, but the design on his t-shirt is the design that's on the can of beer, which I assume that's why he wore that shirt. But Hulk Hogan showed up. He gave us the Hulk Hogan impression, and then he gave us the Terry impression, which that's his first name, and he gave a heartfelt message to President Trump. President Trump even blew him a kiss. Not in a gay way, but you know what I mean. He was just showing some love. President Trump was he dug the speech from what I could tell from his body language and all of that. So anyways, we're going to get a little bit of the Hulkster here. It's not his whole speech. It's a fairly short video. It's only 48 seconds long, but we're going to hear from the Hulkster. It's titled Hulk Hogan when they took a shot at my hero.
What happened last week when they took a shot at my hero? And they tried to kill the next president of the United States. Enough was enough. And I said, let Trumpomania run wild, brother. Let Trumpomania rule again. Let Trumpomania make America great again. What happened last week?
Like I said, people were pretty fired up to hear from Hulk Hogan yesterday at the RNC. I almost called it a Trump rally. It might as well have been a Trump rally. It might as well have been Trump's birthday for 4 days straight, because that's what it was like. That's what it was like. But either way, a lot of people really thought that was cool. So I thought we would grab that for today's live. It was definitely one of the highlights from last night. So next up, we have our feel-good video of the day. It's titled, You Are Loved, Mr. President, and we want to help you make America great again. Here we go. This is our feel-good video of the day. And the reason I made it the feel-good video, because there isn't really a whole lot going on in this video, is because you can hear how much everyone loves President Trump. So that was our feel-good video of the day. You can feel the vibes. That's why all the lame-os out there are so pissed off. The Democrats, the losers, the soft and stupid people, the fucking commies, the dumbass trolls in the chat. Everybody has been out of shape because President Trump survived that assassination attempt, and people are so excited that he is still here with us, and hope is still alive for us to be able to vote for President Trump and turn this country around. And so I wanted to just make that the feel-good video of the day to be able to hear all the love for President Trump. So now we're going to get into our funny video of the day. And I think it's a pretty good one. It's titled, Disney Really Messed Up Star Wars.
Let me see your identification.
You don't need to see his identification.
Yes, I do, or I wouldn't fucking ask.
You're very attractive for a stormtrooper.
Is it me, or is this guy fucking weird? Fucking nuts, man.
I'm single.
Oh, that's it. Get the fuck out of here, you dirty pervert. Pedo.
Yes. Goodness. Well, hooligans, that is all the coffee I had for you guys today. Let me get this Linktree link really quick. Drop this Linktree link to you. All of my links are listed, so if you guys would like to make donations, join membership programs, or purchase any merch, really appreciate it. All of your guys' contributions keep us running every day except for Sunday, because you got to have a day to recharge those batteries. Definitely go join Discord. Discord is our free hooligan community. All the hooligans are there, keeping the conversation going 24/7, and we have a news board to keep you up to date with everything going on around the world. So definitely go join Discord. Like I said, it is free. If you're feeling real saucy, go to and get yourself a membership for jeffmaclive.com. Over on the website, you're able to watch the live. It is the best way to experience a live. Our built-in chat has more ability than any other platform. You could post memes and GIFs and custom emojis right there in the chat. Then we have Hooligans Alley, which is our built-in social media area on the website. It's kind of like Twitter or Facebook, but there's no communism there. There's no fact-checking bullshit. There's no crying liberals or any of that. It's the way social media is supposed to be. Then we have forums, which is very much like Reddit. We have all the same abilities as Reddit. And then we have our advanced messaging system that gives you the ability to text each other, call each other, video call each other, group texting, group calling, and group video calling. In about 20 minutes, we will be doing the voice chat over on the website. Definitely go get you a membership so you can join us at the voice chat. It's a lot of fun just hanging out, telling jokes, telling stories, researching things, just doing whatever pops up. Well, most of the time, we're doing a bunch of laughing. So definitely go get you a membership for jeffmaclive.com. We're going to read through the voice chat. We're going to read through the chats really quick. We got the Pledge of Allegiance coming, and then we will be wrapping this up. Like I said, 6 p.m. Eastern time. We're going to be over on the website doing our voice chat, but we will be live again tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern time for the very next Coffee with Hooligans. And then we have President Trump, who will be live here in Michigan over in Grand Rapids at the Van Andel Arena about 5 p.m. Eastern time. So we'll be covering that as well. Go read through the chat really quick, and we got the pledge coming up. What's up, Free Thinking Texan? Happy freedom. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Annette. I hope you start feeling better. Hair Juicer voice chat after party? Yes. Yup. Happy freedom, Josh. Josh D. Fitzy group stuff. Mm-hmm. Yes. Josh, send me an email. jeffmaclive at Yahoo. Or at Gmail. Not at Yahoo. At Gmail. Free the Texan, are you sure it's not gilded? I mean, I'm trying my best to get gilded out of my vocabulary. Gilded just hits harder than Discord, but they're all soft now. Hey, I appreciate you, Rain. Thank you for being here. I got to figure out how to say your name correctly, but I'm happy to have you with us. Happy freedom, Mama Bear. Grey Wolf, what was the troll spewing? I don't know. Crying hard. They were crying hard. I assisted them out. What is going on over here? Oh, you guys were gangbanging shenanigans. Well, now that the carcass is dead and bloody and full of semen, we'll just go ahead and carry it up out of here. Goodness. Goodness. Status quo, happy freedom. Celebrate it when you can. Absolutely. Absolutely. 0. Oh, yeah, there's 2 different Joshes going on here. Josh D is on the site. What's the other Josh? The other Josh, Josh 1776. We'll say Josh 17. That's what we'll do. Everybody gets nicknames. You're getting a nickname. All right, let's do the thing. It's time to do the thing, guys. Come on, guy. Do. This button does this. All right, hooligans, it is that time again. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I thought I left the beats on. That's why I was like, what the hell? I thought I turned them off. I did. We did the thing. Well, hooligans, I'm going to read through the chat one last time just to make sure no hooligans are left behind. We're going to be over on the website in about 15 minutes doing ourselves a little voice chat. Get yourself a membership so you can join us. It's a lot of fun. We're sitting there hanging out, laughing and whatnot, and you should join us for it. If I don't see you over on the website for the voice chat in 15 minutes, I will see you tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern time, for the very next Coffee with Hooligans. And like I said, we will be covering President Trump a little after 5 p.m. Eastern time. As soon as he steps on stage, we will be starting the live. So hopefully I see you guys tomorrow. Reading through them, we're wrapping her up. Free the text. I'm not down for no VD. Yeah. That's what you say now. It's a lot of fun. Oh, I appreciate you, Breeze by You. Thank you for being here. 0, get you some food first. We'll see. If I can get food, I won't be able to eat it until, whenever. 8 or 9 o'clock. Free Thinking Texan. I like my wiener. I'm not getting no VD. I'm in the same boat, Free Thinking Texan. It's the only nice thing I got. I'm not going to wreck it now. It's the only thing I'm good at. Oh, I appreciate you, Pumpkin. Thank you for being here, and God bless. Barb. Now just keep President Trump bathed in prayers so we win in November. That's right, Barb. Happy freedom to you. I appreciate you being here with us. Alistair, you can eat on the voice chat. We don't mind. I can't. I'm weird about food. It's from growing up and not being raised. We used to have to fist fight for food and shit like that. You want to eat today, you better be able to whoop your sibling's ass. Or you better have enough friends that can invite you over for dinner. And that's how I grew up. So I don't really eat in front of people because I eat like an animal. Not sloppy, but just very protective. Like I'm in prison. Been that way my whole life. Can't change it. Plus I feel like it's rude. I can't share with you guys. What's up, Rhyme Time? Happy freedom. All right, I think we are good to go. We did the pledge. We did the thing. We're going to be over on the website in about 10 minutes. I'm going to try and run down the street and get some food, but we'll be doing the voice chat over on the website. So if I don't see you guys in about 10 minutes, I will see you I will see you tomorrow is what I meant to say. Tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern time for the very next Coffee with Hooligans. And like I said, about 5 p.m. Eastern time, we're expecting President Trump to be on stage, Michigan, Grand Rapids, over at the Van Andel Arena. We will be covering it live. So hopefully I will see you guys tomorrow. Let me think. Am I forgetting anything? Do I got any shout outs I need to do? Almost dropped the chapstick, but not quite. Nope, we're good. We're good. All right, like I said, see you on the voice chat. And if I don't, I'll see you tomorrow on the live. Huge shout out to everyone that made donations, joined the membership programs, or purchased any merch. I really appreciate all of you hooligans. And I wouldn't be able to do any of this if it wasn't for you. So thank you so much for all your support. I'll see you on the next live. Until then, stand tall, shine bright, and that's a wrap.
Jeff.